Look, I'll be honest. I died because I was texting while crossing the street. Not my proudest moment. If I ever get a third chance at life, I'm keeping my eyes up. But here I am, 16 years into my new life in a fantasy world, standing in a fancy church waiting for my turn at the big talent awakening ceremony. Every kid gets one at 16. Some cosmic power decides what your talent is and what job you're best at. Ranks go from S down to E, and most people land somewhere around D or E, which is basically the universe saying, good luck being average. My body won't stop shaking, and the girl behind me, Julia, my one and only friend in this entire world, thinks I'm nervous. She pats my back all gentle and says, "Don't worry, your parents are barons. You'll get something good, sweet girl." Completely wrong, though. I'm not shaking from fear. I'm shaking from pure excitement. Because once you awaken, noble kids get shipped off to the Royal Academy. And that means I finally escaped my absolute trash fire of a family. 16 years of suffering in that house, and today is my ticket out. Next, Clan Gassa. I practically sprint up to the bishop. This guy looks at me with zero expression. Fair enough. I look like a skeleton, someone dressed in bargain bin noble clothes. A strong breeze could probably snap me in half. I close my eyes, relax, feel some warm energy flowing into me, and then, C-rank talent. Attribute point allocation. Best profession, knight. C-rank. Not bad, not great. The talent explanation goes like this. Every year, I get one random stat point added to a random attribute. If I'm lucky and it hits my main stats, this talent could rival B rank, maybe even touch A rank. If I'm unlucky, it's basically an E rank talent wearing a C rank disguise. And historically, most people with this talent, unlucky. Cool. But then, right after the ceremony ends, a blue holographic screen pops up in front of my face. An attribute panel, like a full RPG status screen, complete with a cold system voice in my head going, "Congratulations, host. Today you received Strength 1, I almost choke. My stats are all over the place. Strength 5, Agility 5, Constitution 4, Spirit 8. But the real gold mine is the elemental affinity section. Wind, a pathetic one, which explains why my family's wind sword technique has been going nowhere for me. But thunder? A solid 6. Water? A 4. I've been training the completely wrong element this entire time. Oh, and my charm stat is 64. Out of what? I have no idea, but I'm choosing to believe that's impressive. And there's more. Sword talent. 9. Magic talent. 4. So basically, I've been handed a cheat sheet to my own body that nobody else gets to see. The attribute point thing was already one talent, but this status panel is basically a secret second talent for free. Suddenly C rank is looking a whole lot better. I wait outside the church for Julia to finish her test. After that, it's straight to the Royal Academy. New life, new stats, new me. The Skeleton Baron's kid is about to make some serious moves. Go back to that house. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Not happening. See, here's the thing about my lovely family situation. I was born into a baron's household, which sounds fancy until you learn that my dad has about 20-something kids from multiple wives and concubines. My mom was one of the concubines. In the beginning, life was actually okay. I got to eat, learn the family sword technique, and live better than the average commoner. Not great, but not terrible. Then that woman showed up. She married my father, and the first thing she did was get my mother killed. After that, she went to dear old dad with her pretty face and sweet voice and said, "Oh, let me take care of all the children for you." And my father, who apparently has the parenting instincts of a rock, said, "Sure, sounds great," and handed over everything. Her system was simple. Kids with good talent who kissed up to her, they got treated fine, brainwashed into loyal little minions. Kids with bad talent who didn't obey, punishment, hard labor, beatings. And guess who she picked as the shining example of? This is what happens when you disobey. The kid with no mother, no backing, and no one who cared me. I tried fighting back. Multiple times. But every single time, the other kids would gang up and back her story. Eventually, in my father's eyes, I became the lying, scheming, talentless troublemaker. The man has 20 kids. I'm basically a rounding error to him. But that woman? She's pretty and charming, so she gets a free pass to do whatever she wants. Since I was 6 years old, I've been doing back-breaking chores, getting beaten, barely eating, and swallowing every ounce of humiliation in silence. At some point I realized, my father isn't oblivious. He just doesn't care. I'm disposable. She's entertaining. So I learned to endure. I stopped resisting, stopped reacting, made her think she'd completely broken me. But inside I was just waiting, surviving, planning. If it wasn't for Julia sneaking me food and being my friend, I'd literally be dead by now. She's the only reason I made it to 16. She's even the reason I was allowed to come to this awakening ceremony at all. Clan. I'm done. Julia comes running over, practically bouncing. I got a B-rank talent. Ice crystal bloodline. Even the bishop praised me, B-rank. That's incredible. I try to smile for her. I really do. But after 10 years of being treated like garbage, my face has kind of forgotten how smiling works. What comes out is, well, let's call it an attempt. Let's go home and tell everyone, she says. I shake my head. You go? I'm heading straight to the Royal Academy through the church. Her face drops. The Royal Academy? Clan, that place is basically hell for weak people. She's not wrong. From what I've heard, the Royal Academy is where the strong live like kings and the weak get absolutely crushed. Class warfare at its finest. But here's the thing Julia doesn't fully understand. My current life is already hell. At least the Academy has a chance of something better. This is something I planned a long time ago. I can't go back to that house. But if I make it through the Academy, I'll come find you. I turn around and walk away without looking back. Not because I don't care. Because if I look at her face right now, I might hesitate. And hesitation is something I can't afford anymore. Behind me, I know Julia is standing there, probably tearing up a little, praying I don't die. Honestly, fair concern. Soon after, about a dozen other teenagers gather in the same area, all hoping to join the church as a fast track into high society. The logic is simple. Have decent talent, look enthusiastic, and they'll probably let you in. Whether you survive after that is a problem for future you. Then the same stone-faced bishop from the ceremony walks back out. He looks at all of us and tries to smile. I say, tries, because what his face actually produces is the kind of expression you'd see on a serial killer in a painting. Warm is not the word. Terrifying is closer. The bishop looks at all of us with that creepy smile and splits the group. Left side, Royal Academy. Right side, church recruitment trials. Most kids go right without hesitation. Only 4 of us go left, including me. The bishop's smile gets even wider when he counts 4 academy volunteers. And I know exactly why. More kids going to the academy means a bigger bonus for him. He doesn't care that most of us will probably die there. We're basically trading our lives for his career advancement. But sure, the church is proud of you, right? Thanks, buddy. Here's the deal with the Royal Academy that most people don't advertise. It's basically a miniature war zone. Different nations and factions, including the church, each have their own teams inside the academy. They fight over resources, and the better your faction performs, the more rewards your backers get. So when kids volunteer to go, the higher-ups are thrilled. Free cannon fodder that walked in on its own. The bishop knows full well that we're all here because our lives are awful enough that a war zone sounds like an upgrade. But does he care? Of course not. Climbing the ladder requires stepping on people, and we just laid down under his feet voluntarily. You'll stay at the church tonight. Tomorrow morning, you leave. Per regulations, each of you gets an identity token and 1 weapon. Follow me to choose. I look at the other 3 going with me. 2 boys and 1 girl. Their clothes are patched up. They're all skinny as sticks. Basically mirror images of me. No way these kids are here because life was going great for them. Meanwhile, the kids heading for the church trials? Clean clothes, healthy weight, clearly from families that actually fed them. Funny how that works. We follow the bishop to a weapons storeroom. The selection is, let's say, humble. Everything in here is bottom-tier basic equipment. The kind of weapons that make you wonder if they were forged or just vaguely threatened into shape. I go straight for the swords. They're all rough and crude, but after comparing for a while, I settle on a one-handed sword that looks slightly less terrible than the others. The girl picks a dagger, actually the nicest-looking weapon in the whole room. Smart eye, questionable combat choice. In a head-on fight, a dagger against a longer weapon is a losing bet. But maybe it fits her class. Both boys grab spears. Good instinct. When you have 0 combat training, reach is your best friend. The bishop drops us off at a room with 10 small beds crammed together. The smell is an experience. And there are already a dozen other people in here. Honestly, though, better than expected. I was fully prepared to sleep in a woodshed tonight. I know I need to start building connections. I hate talking to people. 10 years of abuse will do that to you. But being a loner at a place like the Royal Academy is basically a death sentence. So I force myself. Let's get to know each other. I'm Clan Gassa. My class is Knight. All three of them freeze and stare at me. It takes me a second to realize why. I have a surname. In this world, only nobles have surnames. So now they're trying to figure out why someone with a noble family name looks like a starving street kid and is voluntarily walking into a death academy. I'm not about to explain my tragic backstory to people I met 5 minutes ago, so I just leave it. The taller boy goes next. I'm Arlen. 13 siblings. Family couldn't feed us all. So here I am. Nobody bats an eye. That's just how it is in this world. Poor families have tons of kids, hoping one of them hits the talent lottery and lifts everyone out of poverty. The shorter boy. I'm Mosin. 10 siblings. Same reason as Arlen. Then we all look at the girl. I'm Lena. I joined the church because I'd rather risk death at the academy than be married off as a concubine to some old man 50 years older than me. And there it is. For teenagers, for completely miserable reasons to be here. Nobody's chasing glory. We're all just running away from something worse. After introductions, I noticed the other people in the room sneaking glances at us, sizing us up. But nobody starts trouble. This is holy ground. The church, and getting kicked out would be a death sentence for their futures. So everyone behaves. For now, everyone in the room is quiet and well-behaved. Good. I briefly consider trying to rally all these kids into some kind of group, but honestly, too many people means too much drama, and I'm not exactly a social butterfly after a decade of abuse. So I keep it small, just me and the other three, curled up in a corner for the night. Then, right at midnight, I hear it again. Congratulations, host. Today you received Strength 1. My eyes snap open. I check my panel. Strength went from 6 to 7. It's real. But wait. Hold on. The talent description said 1 attribute point per year. I just got 1 yesterday at the awakening ceremony. And now another 1 today? I replay the system message in my head. Today you received. Today? Not this year. Today. My heart nearly stops. Is it possible that while everyone else with this talent gets 1 point per year, I get 1 point per day? I swallow hard. If that's true, if that's really actually true, then all I need to do is keep my head down and survive. Every single day, I get stronger. It's just a matter of time. I can feel the difference already. My arms have more power in them. I want to punch something just to test it. But I look around at the sleeping room full of kids and calm myself down. Not yet. Not the time. The next morning, the church gives us breakfast. 2 black bread rolls that taste like someone mixed flour with sawdust, plus surprisingly, a cup of milk. I eat 1 bread and pocket the other for emergencies. I notice the other 3 do the same thing. Survival instincts, we've all got them. Then we march outside and I realize our little group of 20 was just 1 room. There are hundreds of kids. They need 8 cargo wagons to fit everyone. Not passenger carriages, open-top cargo wagons. The kind you transport livestock in. I climb onto one and immediately feel like a crate of potatoes being shipped to market. These wagons have no roof, no suspension, and every bump in the road goes straight through my bones. And there are so many bumps. But here's my secret silver lining. The longer this trip takes, the more stat points I collect. So while everyone else is dreading this journey, I'm silently hoping it lasts forever. I look around at the other kids. Most of them have this lost, confused look on their faces. They all grew up hearing the Royal Academy's propaganda, a place where dreams come true, where anyone can change their destiny. What a joke. The truth is, out of every 10,000 poor kids who go in, maybe 1 or 2 actually make something of themselves. And those 1 or 2 usually come out as completely different people. Cold, ruthless, nothing left of who they used to be. Meanwhile, noble kids go to the academy with faction protection, financial backing, and connections. For them, it's basically a fancy internship. I know this because I overheard it back home. My family's eldest son was being sent to the academy to build his resume, and my oh-so-caring father spent a fortune making sure he'd be safe. The same father who couldn't be bothered to check if I was eating. My face goes cold just thinking about it. The journey is brutal. The sun hammers us from above with nothing to block it. I end up tearing off part of my shirt to wrap around my head so my skin doesn't burn off. At midday, we finally stop to rest. Luckily, there's a water mage in the escort team, so at least we won't die of thirst. The church needs us alive. We're valuable resources. Dead kids can't fight in their little academy faction wars. Some clever kids use the break to weave leaves into makeshift sun hats. Most of the results look terrible, but ugly shade beats beautiful sunburn. By the end of the first day, my body feels like it's been taken apart and reassembled wrong. For someone with a constitution of 4, riding an open cart all day in scorching heat is basically torture. Dinner is a piece of jerky and another black bread. Both are almost impossible to chew, but I wash them down with water and get every last crumb into my stomach. Can't afford to waste food. Then midnight hits again. Congratulations, host. Today you received Constitution 1. The moment that point hits, I feel the soreness in my body fade a little. My head clears up. It's like someone turned down the pain dial by 10%. Now I understand something important. If I want to survive this trip, what I really need is more Constitution. But looking at my ridiculously long attribute panel with all those random categories, the point is assigned randomly each day. I can't exactly put in a request form. I just have to hope the universe keeps being kind, which, given my life so far, is not exactly a safe bet. Over the next 3 days, I pick up 1 point each in agility, spirit, and constitution. My body is actually starting to feel decent. Like, for the first time in 16 years, I don't feel like I'm on the verge of collapsing. Everyone else, though, they look rough. Yellow faces, puffy eyes, wobbling around like zombies. These kids weren't in great shape to begin with, and days of riding an open cart in the blazing sun has absolutely destroyed them. If it wasn't for the regular food and water, I'm pretty sure we would have had casualties on day 1. Nobody's talking. Nobody has the energy to talk. We're all just surviving. The escort captain takes one look at the group and decides to stop at noon for a half-day rest. He's experienced enough to know that dead cargo earns him nothing. Every kid who arrives alive at the academy is more reward money in his pocket. So he's not being kind, he's being practical. During the break, the 4 of us sit together and Lena asks, "Do you guys think the Royal Academy is really as scary as everyone says?" Arlen shrugs. "I mean, worst case we get beaten up a lot, but they probably won't starve us. That's already better than home." Mosin nods eagerly. "Exactly. These past few days have been rough, but we've been eating every single day. That's an upgrade for me." I look at these 3 and just nod. They're so simple. Their bar for happiness is food exists. I can't even be sad about it because honestly, same. By the way, I say, we've known each other for a while now, but never shared talents. Mine's C rank, attribute point allocation. All 3 of them look surprised. Not because my talent sounds impressive, but because they're all D rank. I also notice Arlen and Mosin subtly scoot away from me. Oh, right. The surname thing. They know I'm nobility. Even though I look like a starving alley cat, the class barrier is still there in their heads. Arlen goes first. D rank, strength enhancement. I'm stronger than most people. Mosin, D rank, precision. My accuracy is higher than normal. Then everyone looks at Lena. She hesitates for a bit, clearly uncomfortable sharing. D rank. Stealth. I can slightly hide my presence. I blink. Stealth? That's only D rank. For an assassin-type class, that's practically a must-have ability. The ranking system in this world seriously needs a patch update. Some talents are wildly underrated. Arlen and Mosin just stare blankly. They clearly have no idea why stealth would be useful. To be fair, when you grew up too poor to eat, I can hide. Sounds way less helpful than, I'm really strong. And honestly, if my talent really was the standard version, 1 point per year, I'd agree that their talents are more practical than mine. A year-long development cycle with random allocation? That's terrible. You'd need decades to see results. And if luck screws you over, you'd spend years adding points to stuff like wood affinity, while your enemies are out there punching through walls. But they don't know my version is daily. They all look at me with this expression like, poor noble kid, stuck with a mediocre talent. Arlen especially seems relieved, like, oh good, the aristocrat isn't actually special. I let them think that. No corrections necessary. 3 more days pass. I get another constitution point, another strength point, and then on day 3. Luck 1. My luck stat climbs to 4. I have no idea if that's high or low, but I know luck is basically the destiny stat. the cultivation novel equivalent of heavenly fortune. I start daydreaming about a future where my luck hits 100 and I just trip over legendary swords on my morning walk. But that's future me's problem. Present me needs to keep his head down. Speaking of which, it's been almost a week of travel now. How far is this academy? I'm not complaining, since every extra day is another stat point, but I'd like to know roughly when to expect arrival so I can mentally prepare. What I don't notice is that the escort captain has been watching me. Apparently, I've caught his attention. On day 1, I looked just as wrecked as everyone else. By day 2, I bounced back. By day 6, while everyone else is barely holding it together, I'm looking healthier than when we started. He's checked my file. He knows my stats. And none of it explains why I'm getting better while everyone else gets worse. Oops. Maybe I should have done a better job pretending to be miserable. Another week gone by. 7 more stat points in the bag. 2 strength, 2 agility, 1 constitution, 2 spirit. Pretty balanced spread, honestly. I would have liked more constitution, but at 8 points it's already enough. I don't feel like death anymore. Actually, I feel good. Like someone lifted a boulder off my shoulders. My body is lighter, my head is clearer, and while everyone around me looks like they're auditioning for a zombie movie, I'm practically glowing. I also noticed a pattern. Most of the daily points land on the 4 main stats: strength, agility, constitution, spirit. The weird stuff like luck has only shown up once so far. That works perfectly fine for me. Time for a status check. Strength, 10. Agility, 8. Constitution, 8. Spirit, 11. But the real discovery? My stats are linked. When my constitution went up, my lifespan climbed from 62 to 69. When my body filled out a little and my complexion improved, my charm crept up from 64 to 66, without me spending a single point on it. The attributes feed into each other. So even beyond the daily point, my stats are growing organically just from getting healthier. This system is even better than I thought. Now, about my 3 travel companions. Even those 3, who are not exactly the sharpest tools in the shed, have finally noticed something weird. We all eat the same food. We all ride the same terrible wagon. They look like they're about to die. I look like I just came back from vacation. And the thing is, they remember that when we first met, I was just as skinny and pathetic as them. The person most desperate for answers is Lena. She's a girl with naturally less physical stamina than the boys, and she's genuinely worried she might die before we even arrive. So she works up the courage to approach me. Clan, can I talk to you about something? In private, before I can answer, Arlen cuts in with this passive-aggressive tone. Yeah. What can't you say in front of us? Are we not friends or something? And I can see the calculation happening in Lena's eyes. If she pulls me aside for a private chat, these two will start spreading rumors that she's the noble's dog the moment they reach the academy. She knows exactly how petty poor people can be to each other, because she is one. I see what's happening, but don't call it out. This world has zero basic education. Most of these kids are going to grow up into the medieval equivalent of internet trolls. Can't expect civilized behavior when civilization never taught them anything. So Lena just asks her question right there in front of everyone. How come you look totally fine after all these days? I feel like I'm dying. Arlen and Mosin perk up immediately. Yeah, they want to know too. They're staring at me like I'm hiding some secret health potion. Good thing I prepared for this question days ago. Nothing special, I say with a shrug. My attribute point last time landed on adaptive force. It lets me adjust to different environments faster. It's just luck. You can't copy it. Clean, simple, uncheckable, and technically not wrong. I am adapting faster, just not for the reason I said. The escort captain overhears this from nearby and just nods to himself. He's apparently heard that attribute point allocation can produce all kinds of random bonuses, so adaptive force doesn't raise any red flags. He even thinks to himself that I might have slightly better survival odds at the academy now. Oh, and fun fact I picked up from eavesdropping. The deadliest period at the Royal Academy is the first month. If you survive month 1, you start adapting. Most people don't make it that far. Great. Really motivating stuff. Back with my group, all 3 of them look completely deflated after hearing my answer. Their one hope that I had some trick they could learn just evaporated. And Arlen is now looking at me with straight-up resentment. I can practically read the thought bubble over his head. Why does this guy get a noble name and a good talent and lucky stat rolls? How is that fair? Buddy, If you saw my childhood, you would not be calling me lucky. But sure, hate away. I've been hated by professionals. An amateur like you doesn't even register. I catch Arlen glaring daggers at my back. The only reason I notice is because my spirit stat is at 12 now. I can literally feel hostile stares. I turn around and we lock eyes. He's got this venomous look like he's imagining shoving me off the cart. He quickly turns away and pretends nothing happened. Sure, buddy. Real subtle. I'm not going to start something with the escort captain watching. I'll deal with this later. 10 more days pass. 10 more stat points. 3 strength. For constitution, 2 agility, 1 spirit. My 4 main stats are now sitting at strength 13, agility 10, constitution 12, spirit 12. Still nothing but main stats. I'm starting to wonder if the odds of getting anything else are even 1%. Not that I'm complaining. Pure stat growth means I'll eventually just bulldoze everyone through raw numbers alone. And physically, the changes are getting obvious. I'm not a skeleton anymore. I'm still on the thin side, but I actually look like a normal human being now. I've grown taller too. My pants went from full length to ankle length because my legs outgrew them. Arlen used to be half a head taller than me. Now we're the same height. Everyone else has somewhat adjusted to the road by now. They don't look like they're dying anymore, just empty. Dead eyes, zero hope, endlessly staring into the distance. Classic road trip vibes. Then one night, the silence breaks. A long, echoing wolf howl. Every single kid in the convoy snaps awake, eyes wide with terror. The escort captain jumps to his feet immediately. This road is supposed to be regularly patrolled and cleared of magical beasts. Running into monsters here shouldn't happen. But shouldn't and doesn't are very different words. Everyone to the center. Armed personnel form a perimeter. Move, pure chaos. Hundreds of terrified teenagers scrambling in the dark. I sprint toward the middle, but in all the stampeding, I see Lena still on the ground. Someone stepped right on her stomach before she could get up. She's curled over in pain, about to get trampled. I grab her arm and yank her to her feet. Go, she runs. I turn to follow, and then something slams into my back. Hard. Someone trying to push me down. I spin around. It's Arlen. This absolute idiot. Wolves are attacking, people are dying, and his priority is trying to knock me into the dirt? During a monster attack, pushing someone down is basically murder. My strength is 13 now. His talent is strength enhancement, sure, but I don't even budge. The surprise on his face is almost worth the situation. He clearly expected me to go flying. I don't give him time to think about it. I kick him square in the chest. He flies backward, hits the ground, and lands right in the path of the incoming wolves. I don't hesitate. I turn and sprint for the protection circle. Behind me, I hear a wolf reach Arlen before he can stand up. Jaws clamp down on his shoulder. Ah-h-h-h-h-h. The scream is horrible. But he's not the only one. Other stragglers who didn't reach the circle in time are getting attacked too. Arlen could have made it safely. He had plenty of time. But he wasted it trying to kill me, and now he's paying for it. I make it inside the perimeter. Safe. For now. I take a breath and actually look at what we're dealing with. 40 to 50 magic wolves, each one over 2 meters long, practically tiger-sized. A pack this big on a supposedly patrolled road makes zero sense. But here we are. 20 guards form a thin circle around hundreds of kids. It looks about as sturdy as a paper wall around a candy store. I'm already planning escape routes in case the line breaks. But the wolves don't charge immediately. They circle us, running around the perimeter, looking for weak spots. These aren't mindless beasts. They have tactics. They have discipline. They have a leader. The Wolf King sits back, watching with these cold, calculating eyes. The escort captain, level 39, sizes it up. The alpha is maybe level 35 or 36. Close enough to be dangerous, and it has 50 friends backing it up. Then, without warning, several wolves charge from different directions simultaneously. The guards hold, barely. Their equipment is good, and they're better fighters than I expected. The first wave gets repelled, but the Wolf King isn't done observing. It's watching, analyzing, and I can almost see the moment it figures something out. The humans on the outside are protecting the ones in the middle, which means the smart play is to get through to the middle. I swallow hard. This is going to be a long night. The Wolf King howls again, and this time it's not a warning. It's an order. Every wolf goes berserk and charges the line all at once. The escort captain screams at the top of his lungs. The wolves are coming through. Spread out. Use your weapons. Fight back. His voice booms like a war drum. Everyone hears it. Nobody listens. Most of these kids are frozen solid, packed together in the center like sardines, too terrified to move a single muscle. Which is the worst possible thing to do, because now we're one big clump of easy targets with zero room to swing a weapon. I'm stuck somewhere in the middle, which means I'm not the first course on the wolf buffet. Small comfort, but I'll take it. I know these wolves won't eat on the spot. They kill everything first, drag the meat home, then eat. So, wait for them to get full and leave is not a strategy. The first casualty on both sides happens almost simultaneously. A guard drives his blade straight up through a wolf's jaw into its brain. Incredible kill. Then, while he's trying to pull his weapon out, another wolf tackles him and bites clean through his neck. The scene instantly turns into a horror movie. Blood everywhere. Kids screaming, crying, some of them losing control of their bladders. The air becomes this unholy cocktail of blood, urine, sweat, and fear. Then a wolf breaks through the perimeter and charges straight into the crowd. And these kids, who were just told to fight back, stand there and do absolutely nothing. The wolf starts tearing through them like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet with no line. I watch this for about 3 seconds. Then I move. My body is different now. Strength 13, agility 10. I close the distance, aim for the wolf's eye, the one spot where even a cheap sword can do real damage, and drive my blade straight through its skull. The wolf freezes mid-stride. Then it drops like a puppet with cut strings. I pull my bloody sword out of its eye socket and look down at it. I wait for the nausea, the horror, the, oh God, I just killed something, reaction. Nothing. I feel absolutely nothing. Just calm. Maybe 16 years of suffering burned out whatever part of my brain was supposed to care about that. More importantly, these wolves aren't invincible. They're flesh and blood. A sword through the eye kills them just fine. I turn to the crowd. These kids have talents. Weird, random talents, sure, but some of them might actually be useful right now. They just need someone to snap them out of their panic. These wolves aren't that strong. We can kill them if we fight back. Pick up your weapons. Something about having just shoved a sword through a wolf's brain makes people take you seriously. I can see the shift. Some of the boys' eyes go from terrified to fired up. The survival instinct is kicking in. Your talents could help everyone here. Step up now and you're a hero. That does it. Kids start activating their abilities. And then, the biggest lucky break of the night happens. One kid starts glowing. Full body, blinding white light. The entire dark battlefield lights up like daytime. This is huge. The wolves' biggest advantage was the dark. The guards were fighting half-blind while the wolves could see perfectly. But now it's an even playing field. The well-equipped, well-trained guards start cutting loose. One guard taking on 2 or 3 wolves at once and winning. 7 or 8 wolves go down fast. The Wolf King sees this and immediately understands. That glowing kid is the problem. It bolts toward him like a black shadow, faster than anything I've seen. But the escort captain has been watching the Wolf King this whole time, waiting for exactly this moment. The Alpha had been surrounded by 7 or 8 bodyguard wolves before, making a direct attack suicide. But now that it's broken formation to go after the light kid, it's exposed. The captain intercepts. Wolf King versus escort captain, 1-on-1. The Wolf King is around level 35 to 36. The captain is level 39. On paper, the captain has the edge in level and gear. But magical beasts have naturally higher raw stats, so the Wolf King's power is terrifying. Their first clash nearly knocks the captain off his feet. They go at it, tooth and claw versus blade and armor. The fight is so intense that nobody dares get close. There's this invisible pressure zone around them that screams, enter and die. The Wolf King is actually enjoying itself. Apparently finding an evenly matched opponent is rare entertainment for it. It's biting and clawing with pure savage joy. Then, a blade erupts through the Wolf King's soft belly from behind. The captain's second-in-command snuck into a blind spot and ran a sword clean through its abdomen. The Wolf King lets out an agonized howl that shakes the air. Turns out humans fight dirty too, Your Majesty. Welcome to the club. The Wolf King spins around to face the guy who just stabbed it, absolutely furious. But the vice captain pulls his sword out, and this isn't a normal sword. One side is a blade and the other side is covered in serrated barbs. So on the way out, it shreds the Wolf King's insides like a cheese grater. The Wolf King collapses. The captain doesn't waste a second. One clean thrust through the neck, and it's over. The mighty Wolf King, done in by a 2-on-1 ambush. It wanted an honorable duel. It got human tactics instead. Welcome to fighting people, Your Highness. We don't do fair. The moment the Wolf King dies, the pack falls apart. No leader means no coordination, and uncoordinated wolves against organized guards is a very different fight. They go down fast, but the damage is already done. Out of 20 escort guards, only 5 survive. Every single one of them is injured. The vice captain lost an entire arm. And the teenagers? Out of over 100 kids, 30-something are left, including me. I look around the battlefield. It's bad, really bad. The captain stands there silent for a long time, collecting a personal item from each of his fallen comrades to bring back to their families. I can see the grief on his face, but he swallows it. There's no time to mourn. He also suspects this wasn't random. A wolf pack this large shouldn't exist on a regularly patrolled church road. Either the patrol teams failed, or someone deliberately targeted this convoy. Either way, he needs to report this when he gets back. Before we move out, the captain pulls me aside. Kid, come here. I walk over, curious. What you did last night, rallying those kids, killing that wolf, it made a real difference. Our losses would have been far worse without you. I want to give you a reward. What do you want? I shake my head. Not because I'm humble, I just don't know what to ask for yet. He gives me this tired, barely there smile. Fair enough. Hard to smile properly when half your friends just died. How about this? I'll teach you a combat technique. You can train with me every evening during rest stops. My brain immediately goes. His magic was purple. I saw it last night during the fight. Purple means lightning attribute. Lightning. My best element. Thunder affinity. 6, the highest on my entire panel. I nod so fast I nearly give myself whiplash. Good. We start tonight. My name is Leighton Wisha. You can call me Mr. Wisha. Yes, Mr. Wisha. I'm Clan Gassa. He nods like he already knew that. Nobles showing up at church convoys isn't exactly common. That evening after dinner, I show up for my first lesson. First, Mr. Wisha says, we work on breathing. This technique requires specific breath control to channel magic power. How long and steady you can breathe directly affects how well you use it. I immediately think of a certain anime from my past life. Breathing techniques. Of course, all I need now is a checkered earring and a dead family. Oh wait, I already have the dead family part covered. Start by holding your breath. This technique works best with long, sustained breathing, so lung capacity is critical. I hold my breath. 1 minute. 2 minutes. Mr. Wisha starts looking surprised. He expected the skinny kid to tap out early. But my constitution is 12 now. That's stronger than most adults in this world, even if my body hasn't fully caught up to show it yet. I make it to 3.5 minutes before stopping. Mr. Wisha's eyebrows are practically touching his hairline. Good. Let's move to the next step. I blink. Already? We just started. Most teachers would have me practice breathing for weeks before moving on. But apparently impressing your instructor with freakish lung capacity has its perks. Our little group of 4 is now 3, by the way. Arlen got exactly what he deserved. Tried to murder me during a wolf attack and got eaten for his trouble. Lena is alive thanks to me pulling her up during the stampede, and she's been noticeably warmer toward me since. Mosin somehow survived too, which honestly might be more impressive than anything I did, considering his talent is precision, and he was in the middle of a wolf melee. 3 out of 4. Could be worse. Could definitely be worse. Mr. Wisha explains the rush. We're only about 2 weeks from the Royal Academy, and after that he can't teach me anymore. So I need to learn the entire technique now and practice on my own later. He demonstrates a set of very strange-looking movements. This technique is called the Thunder Summoning Art. At its highest level, you can temper your body with actual lightning and transform into a true thunder body. It's not the most advanced technique in the world, but it's way better than basic stuff. It'll carry you through your early time at the academy. You can always switch to something better later. Thunder. Lightning. The element I have the highest affinity for. Mr. Wisha, you beautiful man. You have no idea how perfectly this lines up. We train until midnight. He knows sleep is important for a kid my age, but time is short and desperate situations call for desperate measures. Before I leave, he tells me to practice on the cart during the day too. I stumble back to camp completely exhausted. Lena and Mosin immediately swarm me. What did the captain want? Special stuff. Don't worry about it. Lena looks a little disappointed. She was actually worried the captain was giving me trouble, not gifts. Sweet girl. I'm tired. Good night. They settle down on either side of me. Since we started this trip, I've been sleeping in a half-awake state every night. Survival instinct. Can't let your guard down in the wild. But tonight, the second I close my eyes, I'm out cold. Snoring and everything. Apparently Lena and Mosin are so surprised by this that they decide to stand guard over me while I sleep, making sure nobody steals my stuff. Which is nice, considering I own literally nothing worth stealing. Morning comes, and I wake up horrified that I slept so deeply. But nothing's missing. Hard to rob a guy who has nothing, so I relax. Then I notice my breakfast is different. While everyone else gets the usual sawdust bread, I'm looking at soft white bread, fresh meat, and fruit. The captain quietly upgraded my meals to match the escort team's rations. I have no idea how he's preserving fresh fruit on an open road trip, and I'm not going to ask questions. I just eat everything silently and file this kindness away in the debts to repay folder. Then I check last night's stat gain and nearly choke. Thunder Affinity 1. My Thunder attribute just went from 6 to 7. My already highest elemental talent just got even higher. This is the first time a non-main stat attribute has shown up since that one luck point weeks ago, and it lands on the exact element I just started learning. If that's not fate, I don't know what is. Over the next 10 days, Mr. Wisha teaches me everything he can, and I absorb it all like a sponge. He's visibly shocked at how fast I'm progressing. I can tell his opinion of me has upgraded from, "This kid might survive," to, "This kid is definitely going to be someone important." At one point I overhear him muttering about asking an old friend at the academy to keep an eye on me. The stat distribution these 10 days: 6 spirit, 2 agility, 1 constitution, 1 strength. Heavy spirit focus. At first I'm a bit disappointed, but then I notice the effects. My brain is sharper. I need barely any sleep to feel fully rested. My memory has become almost photographic. My thinking speed is faster. Spirit might honestly be the most underrated stat on the entire panel. Between the stat gains, better food, and actual training, my body has completely transformed. I look like a normal, healthy teenager now. No more skeleton boy. My complexion is good, I've grown again, and my updated stats tell the story. Strength, 15. Agility, 13. Constitution, 14. Spirit, 18. Thunder Affinity, 7. Charm, 70. Lifespan, 74 years. Level, 4. I went from expected to live 62 years to 74 just by getting healthier. And my charm jumped to 70, which I'm choosing to interpret as objectively handsome, even though I have no frame of reference. I've also apparently hit level 4, though I have no clue how that's calculated. Nobody else can see levels, so this is another secret perk of my status panel. The downside: I'm starting to stick out. All the other teenagers have filled out a little from the consistent food, but I look like I've been at a health resort while they've been on a death march. I'm taller, healthier, and visibly more energetic than everyone around me. Being the one guy who looks great after a month of suffering is not exactly subtle, but I'll deal with that problem when it comes. For now, I've got a thunder technique to master and an academy to survive. At this point, I'm basically a supermodel standing in a refugee camp. All the other kids are still yellow-skinned and bony, and here I am. Calm demeanor, fair skin, rosy complexion, looking like I wandered in from a completely different story. People stare at me constantly now. Whatever. Free attention. No charge. The journey goes faster than expected since our group is, well, significantly smaller than it started. And then one day, we reach the coastline. Endless ocean stretching to the horizon, and a single building sitting there waiting for us. Some kind of transfer station. Mr. Wisha pulls me aside. This is it. Time to say goodbye. Clan, take this. He hands me a wooden token. When you get to the Royal Academy, find a man named Quinn. He'll help you. This man. He already taught me an entire lightning technique, fed me officer-level meals, and now he's arranging contacts inside the academy for me. I don't know what I did to deserve this level of investment, but I'm filing it under debts I will absolutely repay someday. I understand, Mr. Wisha. Good. The transfer crew will get you to the academy in about 2 days. Go. As I'm walking toward the ship, I catch him slipping something to one of the transfer officers, a small bag, plus some whispered words. The officer nods and smiles. Then Mr. Wisha and I make eye contact one last time. He smiles. I nod. That's our goodbye. Clean. Simple. We board the ship and immediately get shoved into a cramped, sweltering cabin below deck. Dozens of teenagers packed into a space that smells like misery. I've been sitting there for maybe 5 minutes when a middle-aged man walks in. Klangasa? Come out. That was fast. Whatever Mr. Wisha told that officer, it's already working. I follow the man out of the hellhole cabin and into a different one. Bigger, fewer people, breathable air. Not luxury, but compared to where I just was, 5 stars. 2 days at sea. Uneventful. Calm waters. Through the tiny windows I watch the endless ocean and feel this heavy realization settle in. There is no going back. If I ever want to leave the academy, I'd have to cross this entire sea with no idea which direction to go. I'm committed now. Completely. I use the time to practice my breathing technique. The other kids in my cabin are too nervous to talk. Everyone's locked in their own dread. Fine by me. Meanwhile, somewhere behind us, Mr. Wisha is already heading home, apparently thinking about how I'm not the most talented kid he's ever met, but definitely the most steady, hard-working, and intelligent one. He thinks my survival odds at the academy might actually be higher than the so-called geniuses. That's flattering. I hope he's right. 2 days pass. 2 more constitution points in the bank. We've arrived. Follow me out. Hearing those words feels exactly like a death row prisoner hearing. It's time. Everyone drags their feet toward the exit. One kid's legs literally give out, and he collapses, taking a good minute to shakily stand back up. The officer watches with zero expression. Clearly this happens every trip. We step off the ship, and I immediately spot Lena and Mosin in the crowd ahead. They see me too. Faces light up, but nobody dares make a scene. The mood is too heavy for happy reunions. We step onto the island, and solid ground has never felt so good. But my relief evaporates the moment I look up. The island is surrounded by a massive wall of white fog. Something is inside that fog. I can feel it, like a predator hiding just below the surface of still water. Line up. Hold the hand of the person in front of you. Do not let go. If you fall behind in this fog, you will die. Everyone scrambles into formation. The guy in front of me has the sweatiest palms in human history. Disgusting, but survivable. The officer leads us into the mist. My heart pounds the entire time, but mercifully, it's a short walk. We emerge on the other side, and a massive, magnificent cathedral towers before us. Grand. Imposing. Beautiful in the way things are beautiful when they might kill you. This is your new home. You have 1 day to rest and adjust. Tomorrow you will be tested. This test is extremely important. Take it seriously, home. Right. I look at the towering cathedral, the mysterious fog behind us, the ocean beyond that, and the terrified faces all around me. Welcome to the Royal Academy, clan. No pressure. A few guys in white monk robes come to receive us. They give off this creepy, cold energy and look at us like they're inspecting livestock at an auction. The leader frowns immediately. Why are there so few this time? The transfer officer explains the wolf attack. The monk guy's frown deepens. He can tell something's off too, but he doesn't push it. Whatever. I'll take them. We get led to our rooms, and I'm genuinely shocked. 8-person rooms. With beds. Actual beds. After sleeping on dirt, cargo wagons, and ship floors for weeks, having a real bed feels like checking into a 5-star hotel. I almost don't know what to do with this much luxury. The monks remind us. Entrance exam tomorrow. Everyone immediately gets anxious. My 7 roommates are too stressed to even introduce themselves. They just sit on their beds radiating nervous energy. Me? I walk to the one empty bed, lie down, and close my eyes. With my current stats, tomorrow's test should be fine. No point losing sleep over it. But I don't sleep too deeply. These are strangers. Trust nobody. Good thing I didn't, because halfway through the night, I feel someone's hands near me. My eyes snap open. Some kid is standing right next to my bed, holding a MY sword. What are you doing? Everyone in the room jolts awake. The kid freezes like a deer in torchlight. Put my sword down. My voice comes out cold and hard. The kid drops the sword instantly, hands shaking. I get up, walk over to him, and before he can say a single word, slap. Open palm, right across the face. The sound echoes through the room like a gunshot. Everyone's sleepiness evaporates immediately. The kid's head snaps sideways, and he crashes to the floor. When he looks up, there's a perfect handprint on his cheek. Not just red, it's bleeding. The skin split from the impact. One casual slap with strength 15 did that. Interesting. So against normal teenagers, I'm basically a walking weapon now. Good to know for tomorrow. The kid stares up at me in pure terror. Whatever bravery he had 5 seconds ago is completely gone. I stand there for a moment, running some mental calculations, then crouch down and lightly pat his swollen cheek. Tell me, why did you touch my sword? My tone is the same as if I'm asking, what did you have for dinner? Apparently this is more terrifying than shouting, because I immediately smell something foul. I look down. His pants are wet. Lovely. I didn't. He's trying to deny it? While holding the evidence. While sitting in his own urine. Do you want to die? I say it calmly. Conversationally. Like I'm genuinely asking for his preference. I open the door and toss him out into the hallway. Sit out here and think about what you did. I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I'm not in a place where right matters. I'm in a place where showing weakness gets you killed. Making an example of this idiot ensures the other 6 roommates think twice before trying anything. What I find out later is that this kid wasn't just trying to steal my sword. He was planning to stab me with it. His reasoning? I looked too strong, too handsome, too confident. He was ugly and pathetic and couldn't stand the thought of someone like me succeeding at tomorrow's exam. So he figured he'd just murder me in my sleep. That's it. No deeper motive. Just pure spite. This world really does breed monsters. Congratulations, host. Today you received Strength 1, perfect timing. Strength for the exam day. Next morning, someone comes to collect us. He spots the kid crouching outside our door with a bleeding handprint on his face and doesn't say a word. Just smirks slightly. Apparently, pre-exam violence is a yearly tradition that nobody bothers to address. We're nobodies. They don't care. Everyone follow me. Time for your exam. We file out, and when we reach the exam grounds, my jaw nearly drops. There are thousands of kids here. A rough count puts it at 4,000 or 5,000 at least. All here for the same entrance exam. Where did they all come from? We're brought before a young man in white bishop robes. He surveys the crowd and speaks. The entrance exam has 3 stages over 5 days. Stage 1 begins now. All of you will stand here. The last 1,000 still standing advance to stage 2. I look around at 5,000 kids. Stand. Just stand. Last 1,000 standing out of 5,000. All right then. Let's see who has the better constitution stat. Tomorrow, you'll be split into 5 groups of 200 for stage 2, an obstacle marathon. I'm sorry, did this medieval fantasy bishop just say obstacle marathon? That's suspiciously modern terminology for a world that hasn't invented proper wagon roofs yet. Top 20 from each group advance to stage 3. Let me do the math. 1,000 people. 5 groups of 200. 20 advance per group. That's 100 out of 1,000. 10% survival rate. This academy treats human lives like a bulk discount. By 5,000, keep 100, throw the rest away. Stage 3 details will be announced later. You have 15 minutes. Then stage 1 begins. Wait, now? We literally just got here. Everyone scrambles to spread out and find a spot. 15 minutes of chaos later, exam begins. Nobody moves. Because nobody told us what to do. Oh right, forgot to mention, from this moment, nobody moves. Stand straight. Don't budge. Military stance. That's it. That's stage 1. Stand perfectly still until you drop. I almost laugh. I spent 16 years standing still and taking abuse. This is basically my childhood. I lock my body upright and prepare to wait. But then I feel it. A subtle pressure pushing down on my entire body. It's not fatigue. Someone, the examiners in the center, is applying some kind of gravity or force field on all of us. It's barely noticeable at first. But within minutes, kids start dropping. Just falling like someone flipped their off switch. The examiners quickly drag them away. Where to? I don't know, and I don't want to know. The pressure is small, but constant, and these kids have the physical constitution of, well, imagine a college student 2 years deep into instant noodles and 0 exercise. Now imagine making that person stand at military attention under increased gravity. Yeah, They fold fast. I expected this to take hours. It takes 90 minutes. 5,000 to 1,000, just like that. The survivors look like ghosts, pale, shaking, barely conscious, held up by nothing but willpower. I'm sweating pretty hard too. It was tougher than I expected, but I'm standing solid. The head examiner smirks. Congratulations to the remaining 1,000. You have passed stage 1 and earned the right to shed the title of slave. I'm sorry, what? Slave? There are slaves at this academy? What happens to the 4,000 who just got eliminated? Before I can process that bombshell, we're herded back to our rooms. My 8-person room now has 3 people in it. 5 eliminated in 1 round, including the idiot who tried to grab my sword last night. He spent the whole night outside, showed up to the exam exhausted and disoriented, and dropped almost immediately. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The other 2 survivors in my room take one look at how perfectly fine I am and decide they're absolutely terrified of me. No conversation attempted. Congratulations, host. Today you received Constitution 1. Constitution hits 17. At this point, my stamina, recovery speed, and physical resilience are well beyond any normal human. Tomorrow's marathon should be a walk in the park. Or a jog in the park, I guess. Morning comes, and I notice my breakfast has been upgraded again. A piece of meat, a bottle of milk, and a bowl of soup. Meanwhile, my 2 roommates are still eating the same sad rations as before. So the academy rewards strong performers with better food. Brutal meritocracy, but I'm on the right side of it for once. After 16 years of starvation, being the privileged one feels nice, actually. Now, the obstacle marathon. I debate whether to bring my sword. The word obstacle suggests there might be combat, but a sword adds weight and makes running harder. Tough call. Then I see the group assignments. I'm in group 2, which means group 1 goes first, and I get to watch. Beautiful. Free intelligence gathering. Group 1 launches, and immediately the standout is obvious. A girl with actual wings growing from her back. White feathered wings, some feathers on her body too. She looks like an angel. In the church's academy. With angel-themed aesthetics. Yeah, she's going to do very well politically here. That's basically walking into a job interview wearing the company uniform. The course is about 10 kilometers. Long, but manageable. Everyone who survived stage 1 has at least some physical talent, so most should be able to finish. The question is finishing in the top 20. I also noticed something. There's not a single mage class student in the entire competition. All warriors and physical fighters. The mages must have a separate exam track somewhere. Makes sense. Testing a wizard's endurance through a marathon is like testing a fish's ability to climb trees. Time to watch Group 1 finish and figure out exactly what obstacles means. Then Group 2 is mine. After watching Group 1, I've got the whole course mapped out. It's not really a marathon. It's more like an Ironman triathlon designed by a sadist. Stage 1, a 1,000-meter mud pit. Stage 2, a 2-kilometer straight road, basically a breather. Stage 3, a 1,000-meter track with enhanced gravity pressing down on you. Another straight road. And the finale, a track filled with small magical beasts that you either fight or outrun. 10 kilometers total, plus mud, gravity, and monsters. Fun. I watched the last obstacle carefully. Those little beasts are fast. If you can't fly like Bird Girl, there's no outrunning them. And their claws look like they'd leave nasty wounds that would wreck your performance for stage 3. Decision made. I'm bringing the sword. Bird Girl finishes first in Group 1 without breaking a sweat. Obviously, she has wings. The second tier is all body enhancement types, raw physical stats carrying them through. Third tier is elemental types who awaken warrior classes instead of mage classes, so their abilities barely help with physical tests. Everyone behind that is basically filler. The interesting thing? It only takes 2 hours for the top 20 to emerge, and it would have been faster if they hadn't spent half the last stretch sabotaging each other. The judges didn't stop any of it. So dirty tactics are officially on the menu. Noted. My turn. Group 2 lines up at the starting line. Begin. Everyone charges forward. I hit the mud pit and immediately feel the drag. Every step requires real effort to pull my legs free. I deliberately slowed down to conserve energy. No point burning out in the first obstacle. Around me, some idiots are already fighting each other in the mud. Their strategy is apparently eliminate nearby competition early. Crude, but I can see the logic. Sure enough, two guys start creeping toward me. They probably see a guy who's not sprinting and think I'm an easy target. They think wrong. I don't wait for them to make the first move. I draw my sword, channel that tiny bit of magic power I've learned from the thunder summoning art, and swing. A flash of purple lightning. Two arms hit the mud. Ahawk! My arm! My arm! I turn around and keep walking. Zero hesitation. Zero remorse. Behind me, every single person who was eyeing me as a potential target suddenly finds somewhere else to look. Nobody wants to be the third guy to test the lightning sword kid. The thunder summoning art is only at beginner level, but even that gives my attacks a boost. A jolt of electricity that numbs the target, burns the wound, and dramatically increases my swing speed. Against people at this level, it's absolute overkill. Up in the observation area, the examiners are apparently chatting about me. Told you yesterday, this kid's good. Attribute point talent, and his luck with the rolls seems excellent. Not bad. Should pass the exam easily. Might even climb out of the commoner tier. Nice to know I have fans. Would be nicer if they give me better breakfast instead of just watching. I exit the mud pit and realize I'm in third place. I was deliberately going slow, and I'm still third. My constitution at 17 is doing serious work. I barely feel winded while everyone behind me is gasping. I shake off as much mud as I can. The gravity section is coming up, and dried mud is just extra weight. Can't get it all off, but every bit helps. 2 kilometers straight road. Easy. I close the gap with the two guys ahead of me, both body enhancement types. One is clearly a speed specialist. The other feels more balanced, like an all-rounder. We hit the gravity section, and something beautiful happens. The speed specialist, who was blazing through every flat section, starts struggling hard under the increased gravity. Speed means nothing when something is pressing your entire body into the ground. I pull ahead. The all-rounder keeps pace for a while, but I'm faster. My constitution advantage isn't just about stamina. My recovery speed is insane too. Every second of rest between sections, I'm bouncing back while everyone else is still catching their breath. Meanwhile, I notice the Group 1 finishers are sticking around to watch our race. Bird Girl from Group 1 is staring at me hard. I haven't used any flashy abilities, no thunder techniques, no special moves. I'm crushing this course on pure base stats alone, and she can tell. Good. Let her wonder what happens when I actually try. The gravity section gets heavier the further I go. My pace drops, but compared to everyone else, I'm apparently still blazing through it. I cleared the mud pit in 12 minutes. The fastest person in Group 1, besides Bird Girl, took 15. Group 2 is just built different, I guess. I finished the gravity section in 20 minutes. Total time so far, 39 minutes. At this rate, I might actually rival Bird Girl's overall time, and she has wings. When I exit the gravity zone, neither of the other two front-runners are out yet. I'm alone in first place. Final obstacle, the beast track. A wolf-like creature charges out at me from the side. It's way smaller than the wolves from the convoy attack, and I can tell it's been partially domesticated. It doesn't even have that intense killing intent. Probably gets fed regularly by the academy staff. Sorry, buddy. Nothing personal. I draw my sword. 1 slash, boosted with purple lightning. I split its skull clean in half. Hardest stage of the course. Took me about 4 seconds. My sword's looking rough, though. The blade is noticeably chipped after cutting through bone. This cheap thing wasn't built for actual combat. Lucky there's only one beast per runner. I sprint the remaining distance and cross the finish line. Total time, 51 minutes. First place, Group 2. I stick around to watch the others finish, and almost immediately, someone walks up to me. Let's get acquainted. I'm Saga, it's Bird Girl. Up close, she's got golden hair, blue eyes, very pale skin that's slightly dull, the kind of complexion you get from years of poor nutrition. Thin, almost gaunt. Despite the angelic wings, she's clearly from a commoner background, same as most of us. Klangasa. I extend my hand for a brief shake. She catches the surname and pauses. Nobles at the church academy are rare. But she's smart enough not to pry. I can see her doing the mental math, though, probably figuring that some noble kids have it worse than commoners. Then she studies my face for a moment longer than necessary. I notice a slight shift in her expression, something beyond just sizing up a rival. Whatever she's thinking, she keeps it professional. We'll probably be seeing each other a lot. Mind having me as a friend? Not at all. Short. Clean. No drama. I like this girl's efficiency. While we're talking, the rest of Group 2 trickles in. The speed-type guy who fell behind at the gravity section somehow clawed his way back to second place. Respect. That takes grit. But the beast stage is where things get ugly for everyone else. Most of these kids have never fought a living creature before. Even the ones who are technically stronger than the beasts freeze up the moment they see fangs and claws. They panic, they run, they get clawed, and then their survival instincts kick in and they fight back in a blind rage, which then gets redirected at nearby competitors. Group 2 takes 2 hours and 15 minutes to finish. I did it in 51 minutes. The gap is almost embarrassing. I stay to watch Groups 3 through 5. Each one has standouts worth noting. Group 3 has a guy who can transform into a stone giant. Full body transformation, massive boost to strength and defense, plus he gains the ability to control earth elements. That's easily B rank or above, possibly on Saga's level. But the real eye-catcher in Group 3 is the runner-up. His speed isn't special, but his swordsmanship is terrifying. He one-shots his beast just like I did, but his technique is leagues above mine. That level of precision takes years of dedicated training. Either he's nobility with access to a proper sword instructor, or he grew up in a martial family. Either way, that's someone I need to keep on my radar. My raw stats can overpower most people here, but a guy with superior technique and decent stats? That's an actual threat. 5 groups done. 100 finalists selected. Stage 3 still unknown. The Academy is getting interesting. Group 4's winner can transform into a giant bat. His bloodline ability is probably on par with Saga's, but his look is, well, let's just say angelic church aesthetic and giant bat monster don't exactly overlap. He's going to have a PR problem here. Group 5's winner is a werewolf. Full wolf transformation. So let me take inventory of the top 5 finishers. Angel girl, stone giant, bat creature, werewolf, and me. A regular human with good stats and a cheap sword. I'm starting to feel a little underdressed for this party. All 5 of us end up gravitating toward each other after the races. Quick introductions all around. Everyone's sizing everyone else up while pretending to be friendly. Standard competitive socializing. With all 5 groups done, exactly 100 survivors remain. The examiner addresses us. Congratulations. You've left the commoner tier and entered the noble class. Stage 3 is direct combat. You'll be paired through a structured drawing system. Each group's first place fights another group's last place. Second fights another's second to last, and so on. 3 days of matches. The final top 10 will receive another status upgrade and a completely different starting position than everyone else. My expression hardens. The other group winners all have transformation abilities that basically turn them into superhuman monsters. I'm just a guy. A really strong guy, sure, but flesh and bone versus someone who becomes a literal stone giant? That's a math problem I'm not sure my stats can solve yet. Back at the dorm, I'm alone now. Both roommates got eliminated today. The entire 8-person room is mine. Silver lining, unlimited training space. I immediately start practicing the thunder summoning art. Congratulations, host. Today you received Sword Talent 1. Wait, Sword Talent? That's a rare attribute. My sword talent jumps to 10. I grab my sword and run through some forms, and immediately I can feel the difference. New insights are flooding in. Angles I never considered, timing adjustments, more efficient movements. One single talent point, and my swordsmanship just leveled up noticeably. Next morning, day 1 of combat rounds. 80 people get eliminated today. All 100 of us arrive at the arena. 50 examiners are waiting. Everyone fights simultaneously. Efficient and terrifying. I get matched against Group 1's 20th place, last qualifier from his group. If I remember correctly, his talent is Earth Element Manipulation. Decent ability, honestly C-rank worthy, but these kids are all still beginners with limited control. The guy sees me and visibly relaxes. Of course, out of all 5 group winners, I'm the one without a flashy transformation. I look the most beatable. Clan, I know you're strong, but that was just against beasts. You might not beat me. I don't respond. After today, I'll never see this guy again. Why waste words? My silence makes him angry. Good. Angry fighters make mistakes. No killing. Everything else is permitted. Begin. We both draw swords. He immediately activates his earth element. A thin yellowish film wraps around his body, boosting his defense and strength slightly, but slowing his movement. Textbook Earth-type behavior. More armor, less speed. I close the distance before he can react and drive my sword into his abdomen. Not deep enough to kill, but deep enough to end this fight instantly. Opponent incapacitated. Clan wins. He's lying on the ground, and I walk over. He looks up at me hopefully, probably thinking I'm going to help him stand. I take his sword. You won't be needing this anymore. It's mine now. I walk away. Behind me, he's practically choking on his own rage, trying to get the examiner to do something about the robbery. The examiner doesn't even glance back. Law of the jungle, buddy. Welcome to the Royal Academy. I check on the other group winners. All finished just as quickly. First place versus last place is barely a contest. Round 2 starts soon. The bracket system is blatantly designed to favor the strong. Top fighters always face the weakest remaining opponents. It's not fair, and nobody pretends it is. The Academy's philosophy is crystal clear: the strong eat, the weak get eaten. After this round, we go from 50 to 25. Then the bottom 10 fight for 5 spots. Only the top 25 matter. My round 2 opponent, Group 1's 10th place. A real step up in difficulty. Let's see what he's got. Round 2. My opponent takes one look at me and goes stiff. He knows he can't win, but he's come this far, so he's going to try anyway. I respect that. His talent is full-body physical enhancement, and he's using a spear, longer reach than my sword. He sets up in a defensive stance, spear pointed straight at me. Smart. If he'd kept that up, I would have actually had to work for this. But he doesn't. He attacks. The second he lunges, he's wide open. I sidestep, grab his spear shaft with one hand, and hold it still. He pulls. He yanks. He throws his entire body weight into getting that spear back. It doesn't move. My hand might as well be welded to it. His face goes through about 5 stages of confusion in 2 seconds. The man cannot comprehend how a guy with attribute points, as his talent, has this kind of grip strength. While he's still processing that, my sword tip is already pressed against his throat. A tiny red line appears on his neck. He swallows very carefully. I surrender. Good choice. I sheath my sword and walk out. I'm not staying to watch the remaining fights. The skill gap is too wide, and I'd rather spend the time training. I can feel it in my body. The thunder summoning art is right at the edge of a breakthrough. Something is building up, like pressure before a storm. On my way out, I catch a glimpse of Saga's fight. She wants to finish fast so she can follow me, apparently. She holds up her palm, generates a golden ball of light, and hurls it at her opponent. Boom. The guy gets blasted across the arena. Not dead, but absolutely shredded. Fight over in 1 move. My expression goes serious real fast. That attack would hurt me. Badly. The good news is that Saga is gasping for air afterward. She can clearly only use it once before she's drained. So if I ever have to fight her, I just need to survive the first hit. She catches up to me outside. Clan, why'd you leave so early? Nothing worth watching. Going to train? Oh. Want to train together? No. I don't like having people around when I practice. Oh. Okay then. She looks a little deflated, but doesn't push it. Good. Back in my room. My room now. Since all 7 roommates have been eliminated, I immediately start practicing the thunder summoning art. The breathing patterns, the special movements, the channeling. I've been doing this for weeks now, but today feels different. The energy is responding faster, building higher. An hour in, I'm drenched in sweat. My body is burning through stamina just from the cultivation alone. I can normally only manage 2 full cycles per day before it starts damaging my body. Then it happens. My eyes snap open. Tiny purple arcs of electricity crackle across my entire body. The energy surges outward. I reflexively slash my sword forward, and the bed in front of me gets cut clean in half. Level 2. The thunder summoning art just broke through. I stare at the destroyed bed. I practiced the family's wind sword technique for years with 0 progress. I've been learning the thunder summoning art for less than a month and just hit a breakthrough. Choosing the right technique for your elemental affinity isn't just important, it's everything. But the best part? The breakthrough sends lightning coursing through my entire body, and my base stats get a permanent boost from the tempering. Strength, 18. Agility, 15. Constitution, 19. Spirit, 19. 3 stats approaching 20. If you exclude the transformation freaks, I'm probably the strongest person here in raw numbers. And I unlock a new ability. I can now coat my body in lightning, what I'm calling Thunder Body mode. It boosts my strength and agility by about 20%. The catch? It absolutely devours my stamina and magic power. I can only maintain it for a short burst, so if I activate it, I need to end the fight fast or I'll collapse from exhaustion. High risk, high reward. My kind of move. Then comes the downside of the breakthrough. Hunger. Absolute, devastating, hollow hunger. Like my body just burned through a week's worth of calories in an hour. I tear through my food stash in seconds. Still starving. The food is being digested almost instantly. I frantically search the room, checking under beds, in corners, anywhere my former roommates might have left something. I find 3 black bread rolls. Thank you, eliminated strangers. Your loss is my dinner. I choke down all 3 with water. They taste like sawdust, as always, but finally the hunger eases to something manageable. The church only serves 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner, nothing in between. After a cultivation breakthrough that just restructured my entire body at a cellular level, 2 meals is not going to cut it. I'm going to need to figure out a food situation, or my own growing strength is going to eat me from the inside out. I barely survive the hunger until dinner, but when the food arrives, oh my, a huge slab of meat, 5 white bread rolls, a bottle of milk, a bowl of soup, and an apple for dessert. I just stand there staring at it like a caveman seeing fire for the first time. The delivery guy laughs. Eat up. You performed excellently today. Congratulations, you've reached the noble tier. The Royal Academy will be your paradise from now on. Noble tier? Huh? I'm starting to piece together how this place works. Perform well, eat well. Perform badly, disappear to wherever the eliminated kids go. Simple, brutal, effective. He leaves and I attack that food like a starving wolf. Every last crumb. For the first time since the breakthrough, I actually feel full. Bliss. Congratulations, host. Today you received Strength 1, Strength hits 19. Business as usual. Day 2. 20 fighters remain. Today we each fight 2 rounds to determine the top 10 and the bottom 10 rankings. Then tomorrow, the final day, is a full round robin. Every single person fights every other person. Most exhausting, most brutal format possible. I check my bracket and my stomach drops slightly. My opponent is Gato, the swordsman from Group 3 who one-shot his beast. The one whose technique I specifically flagged as actually dangerous. My face goes serious. This is the first fight where I can't just bulldoze through with raw power. My stats are higher, yes, but his skill might be enough to close that gap. This is the classic RPG showdown. Raw numbers versus superior mechanics. Time to show him what happens when the numbers are high enough. Gato sees me across the arena, and his expression tightens too. Before we start, he speaks up. Clan, my name is Gato. I hope you remember it. I know you're strong, so I'm going all out. Don't underestimate me. I nod. Genuinely. This guy has earned my respect. I have a feeling we'll cross paths again after this. We draw swords simultaneously. Gato strikes first, and immediately I see why he's dangerous. His attack angles are tricky. Every thrust comes from somewhere I don't expect. If even one of those lands clean, it'll cause real damage and shift momentum his way. I block. Our blades crash together, and I can feel the vibration run through his arms. He almost loses grip on his sword from the impact alone. My raw strength is simply on a different level. We separate, both of us recalculating. My turn. I go on offense. My swordsmanship is rougher than his, less elegant, less precise. But my sword is fast, and every single swing hits like a truck. Gato can see the openings in my technique, but his body physically cannot keep up with my attack speed to exploit them. Clang, 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 clang. The arena rings with the sound of iron on iron. To the spectators, it looks like I'm completely dominating. And I am, on the surface. But we both know the truth. If I let up for even 1 second, Gato's technical superiority kicks in, and he could end me with a single precise strike. Good thing I don't plan on letting up. Gato's hands are going numb from absorbing hit after hit. He's losing feeling in his fingers. 3 minutes of non-stop heavy impacts. And finally, his sword clatters to the ground. I point my blade at him. You lost. His eyes flash with defiance. He reaches for the fallen sword. I stab him in the right arm. Not deep. Just enough to make a point. The pain snaps him back to reality. I surrender. Clan wins. Medical staff rush in to treat Gato. Apparently his talent is B rank, Weapon Master. He can quickly master any weapon type and has an easier time comprehending weapon spirits. B rank. That explains the terrifying skill level. The church will definitely invest in him heavily, even after this loss. Me? The examiners are still on the fence. My attribute point talent is too unstable in their eyes. Unless I lock down a top 5 finish, I probably won't get the VIP treatment. Fair enough. I'll just have to make it undeniable. Saga finishes her fight and immediately bounces over. Clan, you're amazing. You win so fast every time. You're strong too. If we fought, I'd probably lose. I mean it partially. Her flight ability plus that golden light bomb is a nightmare combination. But privately, I'm already strategizing. Against flyers, my plan is simple. Play defense, wait for them to commit to an attack, and counter with everything I've got in one shot. They have to come down eventually. Saga beams at the compliment. Meanwhile, inside my head, I'm running battle simulations against her. Sorry, Saga. Friends on the outside, tactician on the inside. That's just how I survive. While Saga and I trade compliments, I watch the remaining afternoon matches carefully. These top 20 fighters are all close in power now, so they're actually showing their real abilities. My afternoon opponent is a girl. Her fighting style is eerily similar to Gato's. She keeps finding my weak spots with surgical precision. Must be some kind of insight-based talent. Normally, that'd be dangerous. Unfortunately for her, her body can't cash the checks her eyes are writing. I don't bother with fancy techniques. Just horizontal slash, vertical slash, repeat. Pure force. Every hit makes her weapon rattle in her hands like it's trying to escape. On the 13th swing, her weapon goes flying, and I win. She drops to the ground and looks up at me with this burning determination. Clan, my name is Cecilia. Remember it. Next time, I will beat you. I pause for a second. Then I walk away. Sorry, Cecilia. That day isn't coming. My growth rate is absurd. The gap between us will only get wider. Even a B-rank talent like Insight can't overcome pure stat difference when the numbers get high enough. You can see every opening in the world. Doesn't matter if your body can't move fast enough to exploit them. The highlight match of the afternoon is Batgirl versus the Werewolf. The Werewolf is an absolute beast. Speed, power, aggression, everything cranked up. He should win this easily. But Batgirl has a disgusting ace, Blood Drain. She bites you, sucks your blood, heals herself and restores her stamina, while your body goes limp and loses the will to fight. The Werewolf gets caught once, and it's basically over. Without that broken ability, she'd have lost for sure. Her actual fighting technique is garbage. But when your gimmick is, I bite you and you stop functioning, technique is optional. Mental note, do not let Batgirl bite me. Ever. Under any circumstances. Congratulations, host. Today you received Agility 1, good. Lighter, faster. I can feel it immediately. Final day, 20 people, for tiers, 5 per tier. My group, the top tier, is me, Saga, Stone Giant, Batgirl, and a boy with some kind of B-rank combat enhancement talent. 5 fighters, round-robin format. Everyone fights everyone. Looking at this lineup, I'm the only C-rank talent here. Everyone else is B-rank or above, which, as I'm about to find out, actually means A rank. Before the matches start, I notice 3 teenagers watching from the sidelines. About my age, but completely different vibe. Expensive clothes, perfect posture, and expressions that scream, "You're all beneath me." The examiners practically trip over themselves running to greet them. Saint Maiden, are you here to observe the final examination? The girl at the center, the Saint Maiden, nods with obvious boredom. Anyone interesting this year? Yes, Saint Maiden. One girl awakened the winged human bloodline. A-rank talent. Wait. A-rank. Saga is A-rank. I thought she was B-rank at best. Additionally, there's an A-rank vampire bloodline and an A-rank werewolf bloodline. Those are all the A-rank talents in this examination. 3 A-rank talents in 1 year. Apparently, that's extremely rare. Normally, they get 1 or 2 per year. S-rank shows up maybe once a decade. And I'm in the top bracket with 3 of these A-rank monsters. With my little C-rank attribute points talent. Cool. This is fine. Everything is fine. The one opponent I least want to face is the B-rank enhancement boy. From what I've observed, he can massively boost his combat power in short bursts, similar to my Thunder Body. The best scenario is fighting him later when he's already spent his energy on someone else. I draw my lot, and first round by. I'm sitting out round 1. The other 4 fight each other while I rest. I have never been this happy about doing nothing. While everyone else burns stamina and takes damage, I get to sit here fresh and watch. Maximum information, 0 cost. The matchups: Saga vs Batgirl. Stone Giant vs B-Rank Enhancement Boy. Time to take notes. This bracket is perfect for me. None of these 5 have any real type advantage over each other. They're all close in raw power. So when they fight, they're going to beat the absolute stuffing out of each other. And I get to sit here with my feet up. Pure profit. Saga looks at her opponent, Batgirl, and her face goes sour. Of all the people she could have drawn, the vampire is her least favorite matchup. Batgirl walks onto the stage. She's something. Wild purple hair covering most of her face, deathly pale skin, hunched posture, rail-thin body, and this faint black aura that makes her look like she crawled out of a horror movie. The complete visual opposite of Golden Angel Girl Saga. Begin. White wings and black bat wings unfurl simultaneously. Both girls take to the sky. For one beautiful moment, it looks like an epic clash between an angel and a demon, the kind of thing artists paint on cathedral ceilings. Then they start fighting. It's basically a slap fight with wings. Both of them have S-tier aesthetics and D-tier combat technique. The mythical atmosphere shatters instantly. About 99% of the audience loses interest within 30 seconds. The other fight, though, Stone Giant vs B-Rank Enhancement Boy, is actually entertaining. No technique from either of them, but the raw numbers are insane. Stone Guy is a walking fortress. Massive defense, huge health pool, ridiculous strength. Enhancement Boy has the best burst damage in the entire competition. Fist after fist, pure meat-on-meat combat. Enhancement Boy dominates early with his explosive power, but Stone Guy keeps tanking everything. Enhancement Boy needs to win before his energy runs out. If this drags on, he's done. Meanwhile, I notice Gato also got to buy this round. We make eye contact. He seems to flash back to me beating him senseless yesterday, because he immediately turns away with an annoyed look. I smile. No hard feelings, buddy. Saga vs Batgirl goes on for an hour. At one point, Batgirl tries to bite Saga and drink her blood, her signature move. She gets one taste and immediately spits it out, dry heaving like she just drank poison. Fascinating. Saga's holy attribute blood is basically toxic to vampires. That's a hard counter if I've ever seen one. Unfortunately, I'm lightning attribute, not holy, so that weakness doesn't help me at all. Saga wins eventually, but it's close, and mainly because it's daytime. Batgirl is weakened by sunlight. Plus, she was still drained from fighting the werewolf yesterday. Stone Giant loses to Enhancement Boy, but Enhancement Boy is completely spent afterward. Stamina and magic power both near 0. He's going to be a walking punching bag for the rest of the tournament. Half-hour break. Then round 2. Everyone knows I'm the freshest fighter here since I sat out round 1. Nobody wants to face me right now. The unlucky lottery winner, Enhancement Boy. He looks at me and lets out a bitter laugh. Didn't think the unlucky one would be me. I consider his situation for a moment. Then nod honestly. Yeah, you really are unlucky. His face twitches. Don't get cocky. If I was at full power, you wouldn't stand a chance against me. That's debatable. Wrong thing to say. His blood pressure visibly spikes. He was actually planning to forfeit, save his remaining energy for later rounds, and go all out in his final match. Smart strategy, but I just made it personal. Now he wants to hurt me more than he wants to win the tournament. He'd rather burn his last drops of energy, making my life miserable, than play it smart. Young people. So easy to manipulate. Begin. He instantly activates full enhancement mode and blitzes me. His speed is genuinely terrifying. Even drained, this guy's burst power is top tier. His iron rod crashes into my sword and immediately chips a chunk out of the blade. I wince. No matter who wins this fight, my sword is toast. He goes absolutely berserk. No strategy, no pacing, just pure rage-fueled aggression. Hit after hit after hit. From the outside, it probably looks like I'm on the defensive, barely holding on. And he starts thinking to himself, maybe I can win this. His talent isn't even that great. Of course I can beat him. Oh buddy, you sweet, angry, exhausted fool. You just activated every drop of energy you had left because I called you unlucky. And you think you're winning this exchange? I'm letting you burn. Every swing you throw is energy you'll never get back. And when that tank hits empty, I'll be right here, fresh, rested, waiting. Right as enhancement boy, his name is Pharaoh, apparently, thinks he's got me on the ropes. His iron rod shatters my sword clean in half. But breaking my weapon means he overextended for just a split second. That's all I need. I activate Thunder Body. Purple arcs crackle across my skin. My stats jump by 20%. And I plant my foot square in his chest with everything I've got. He flies backward like he got hit by a speeding carriage. Eyes go dark. He crashes to the ground. And before he can even process what just happened, my fist is already filling his entire field of vision. Lights out. I pull back, ready to keep going, but... oh, he's already unconscious. One kick and one punch. All that rage, all that energy he burned trying to intimidate me, and this is how it ends? Honestly, a little disappointing. He was less durable than I expected. I swapped to my backup sword, the slightly chipped one from earlier. It's ugly, but functional. Better than nothing. Pharaoh has lost combat ability. Clan wins. 2 wins, 0 losses. Feeling good. Now, while I'm resting, I start paying very close attention to the bracket. And I notice something that makes my blood run cold. Not for me, but for Batgirl. Winnie, that's her name. Round 1, matched against Saga. Holy attribute blood literally poisons vampires. Hard counter. Round 2, matched against Stone Giant. His entire body is rock. Her fangs can't penetrate stone to suck blood. Hard counter. Yesterday, matched against the werewolf. Another brutal fight. I look at the bracket pattern. Then I look at the head examiner, who's wearing this creepy little smile. They're targeting her. Deliberately. It makes sense. The church loves Saga. She looks like an angel. Perfect mascot material. Batgirl. Vampire aesthetic? That's the opposite of what the church wants representing them. So they rigged the brackets to grind Winnie down fight after fight. Always against her worst matchups. Never giving her a break. Round 3 matchups confirm it. Saga gets Pharaoh, who immediately forfeits to rest. Free win. I get Winnie. And after me, she'll face the recovered Pharaoh with 0 rest. The whole bracket is designed to boost Saga and bury Winnie. My first round bye wasn't luck. It was arranged because giving me rest also benefits Saga's path. I'm just a side beneficiary. This place is rotten from the top down. But nobody else seems to notice. These kids all come from backgrounds where survival is the only priority. Strategic bracket manipulation isn't even on their radar. Winnie shuffles onto the stage. She's hunched over even worse than usual, completely drained from 2 consecutive fights against her natural counters. She looks like a stiff breeze could finish her off. So unlucky, she mumbles, head hanging. I have to fight you now. My luck is really awful this time. Her voice starts trembling. She sounds like she's about to cry. Right here, on the arena stage. Before our fight. What? What am I supposed to do with this? Do I comfort my opponent? Is there a protocol for this? That's just how the bracket works. Nothing we can do about it. I keep my suspicions about the rigged matches to myself. Telling her won't help. It'll only create problems for both of us. And honestly, it's just a theory. A very convincing theory backed by extremely suspicious evidence, but still technically a theory. She nods softly. Okay, well, be careful. I'm going to give it my all. Despite looking like a gothic horror character, Winnie is genuinely polite and sweet. I actually like her, which makes what I'm about to do feel a little bad. Begin. Before she moves, I speak up. Winnie, if you want your later matches to go better, you should surrender this one and save your energy. It sounds harsh, but it's the best advice I can give her. Based on the rigged pattern, she's the only person who won't get a bye round. If she rests now, she might beat Pharaoh next round. If she fights me exhausted and loses anyway, she'll face Pharaoh with nothing left and lose that too. She looks confused. I can see her trying to figure out why I'd suggest this. She can sense I'm being genuine, but she's not strategically minded enough to understand the bracket manipulation. And because she can't see the bigger picture, she's going to fight me anyway. I respect the determination. I really do. But sometimes stubbornness and bravery look exactly the same. When he's not surrendering. All right then, let's do this. She transforms, full vampire bat mode, and shoots straight up into the sky. Smart play normally, but maintaining that form burns magic power she doesn't have. In peak condition, she could stay airborne all day. Right now, she's running on fumes. Her only win condition is to bite me and drain blood. If she can pull that off, she refuels and I weaken. If she can't, it's over. She opens with her big move, a black crescent blade of dark energy that rockets down at me. The thing is fast. No time to dodge. I block with my sword, and it carves another chunk out of the blade. At this rate, I'm going to be fighting with a butter knife by tomorrow. But that's all it does. The attack barely scratches me. Meanwhile, Winnie is up there gasping for air after one shot. She blew her ultimate on my sword. I don't chase. I just stand there and wait. She'll have to come to me eventually. Up in the VIP area, the Saint Maiden notices me. What's that one's talent? That's Clan Gassa. C-rank talent, attribute point allocation. I can practically feel her interest evaporate from across the arena. C-rank. In her mind, I'm already categorized as noble kid with a head start who'll get overtaken eventually. Dismissed. Just like that. Whatever. I've been underestimated my whole life. One more person on the list changes nothing. Back on the stage, Winnie finally commits. She dives straight at me like a black hawk. Full speed, claws extended. It's actually a terrifying sight. For a normal person. The moment she gets within range, I reach out and grab her by the throat. My arms are longer than hers. So when my hand closes around her neck, her claws are still inches from touching me. She weighs maybe 30 kilograms. I lift her with one hand like she's a stuffed animal. Then I slam her into the ground. Hard. Like swinging a hammer. Winnie's eyes go wide. Her back hits the stone, and whatever fight was left in her just leaves. She's shaking. Not from pain, from pure fear. She's forgotten how to resist. Referee. She's done. The judge walks over, takes one look at the trembling girl who's clearly given up, and calls it. Winnie has lost combat ability. Clan wins. 3 wins, 0 losses. I start walking off the stage, but I glance back at Winnie. She's still lying on the ground, shaking, staring at nothing. Full-blown shutdown. I hesitate. Then I walk back and pull her up by the hand. She flinches. Don't. I surrender. The fight's over. We're going to rest now. She blinks. Processes. Realizes it's actually finished. Then her face crumbles into this look of total defeat. 3 fights, 3 losses. A-rank talent, 0 wins. She follows me down from the stage like a kicked puppy. Clan. Am I useless? I pause. This girl just got systematically destroyed by a rigged bracket, and now she thinks it's her fault. She's about to fight Pharaoh next in this condition, which she'll almost certainly lose too. For fights, all against bad matchups, no rest rounds. And she thinks she's the problem. No. You just had bad luck? Bad luck? She looks up at me, and for the first time I actually see her face clearly. Without the curtain of purple hair in the way, she's actually really pretty. Pale, sure, but delicate features, big eyes, and right now those eyes are brimming with tears, which gives her this fragile look that's honestly kind of. Before my brain finishes that thought, my hand is already on her head, ruffling her hair. Yeah, bad luck. If your first opponent hadn't been Saga, if you hadn't fought the werewolf yesterday, the results would be completely different. You're not weak, you're just undertrained. Give it time and you'll be fine. Winnie's expression shifts. The despair lifts a little. Someone finally told her it's not her fault, and she needed to hear it. For the record, I still think the brackets were rigged against her. I still didn't tell her that. Some truths would only make things worse. But at least I can make sure she doesn't walk away from today thinking she's worthless. Because she's not. She's an A-rank talent with a broken ability who got sabotaged by the system. Once she gets proper training and rest, she's going to be terrifying. Just, hopefully not aimed at me. Winnie nuzzles into my hand like a cat. I freeze for a second, then pull my hand back. All right, go rest. You've got another fight coming. She nods, looking noticeably less miserable than 30 seconds ago. Amazing what one head pat can accomplish. Then Saga marches over with an expression that's trying very hard to look casual and failing completely. Great fight, clan. You're so amazing. I just got lucky with the bracket. No, you definitely win everything even without the bye. Winnie nods in agreement. Okay, I'm not going to argue with 2 people who both decided I'm invincible. Clan, our fight is next. I'll go all out, so watch yourself, Saga warns me with a competitive smile. Then, after a pause, she adds in a joking tone, but if you want a perfect record, I could maybe let you win. She says it like it's a joke. It's not a joke. She would absolutely do it. This girl awakened an A-rank talent, and she's still operating on commoner instincts, trying to buy friendship by being a pushover. It's honestly kind of sad. No, fight me for real. If you throw the match, the examiners will notice and we'll both be in trouble. Oh, okay. Also, Saga says, trying to sound casual, when did you and Winnie get so close? I saw you patting her head. I don't answer. Why does she care? Uncomfortable silence. Saga pivots to Winnie. Haha, Winnie, you two look pretty intimate. You don't like Clan, do you? Winnie answers without hesitation. I think Clan is very gentle. Being near him feels safe. Saga's face goes through about 7 emotions in 2 seconds, none of them happy. She clearly regrets asking. I glance at Winnie. These girls are both incredibly straightforward. No games, no manipulation. One head pat and a few kind words, and they're ready to pledge loyalty. It's the kind of simplicity that comes from growing up with nothing. No one's ever been nice to them. So the first person who is gets their whole heart. It's kind of heartbreaking, honestly. Half-hour break ends. Round 4 matchups, exactly as I predicted. Winnie, who has not gotten a single rest round, faces Pharaoh. She's exhausted. She's injured from me slamming her into the ground. And Pharaoh has been resting since round 2. She's going to lose. The rigged bracket strikes again. Pharaoh sees his opponent and smirks. Free win. My opponent? Saga. Fully rested, fully powered, most complete stamina reserves of anyone here. Of course. We step onto the stage. Saga's playful demeanor vanishes instantly. She's serious now. Good. I need her serious, because this is going to be my hardest fight yet. Begin. Saga shoots into the sky immediately. But unlike Winnie's desperate, clumsy flying, Saga moves with complete composure. She's conserved her energy perfectly, and she knows her aerial advantage is nearly unbeatable. She doesn't waste magic on a big flashy ranged attack either. She's smarter than that. Instead, she targets my weapon. My sword is already a disaster. Chipped, cracked, barely holding together from 4 previous fights. Saga grips her spear, a quality spear, mind you. The church gave her a proper refined weapon as a reward for her A-rank talent. Meanwhile, I'm holding together scrap metal with prayers. She dives. One streak of white light. The spear hits my sword, and it shatters. Not chips. Not cracks. Explodes into several pieces. I'm standing in the arena holding a sword handle with no blade. Great. Fantastic. Every fight in this tournament has cost me a weapon. I started with 2 swords and I now have 0. Saga pulls up, circles overhead for a few seconds to catch her breath, then lines up another dive. She's coming again. I have no weapon. She has a reinforced spear and full stamina and the entire sky as her advantage. Think, Clan. Think fast. I activate Thunder Body. Purple electricity wraps around me, and the moment Saga commits to her dive, I sidestep. She's going too fast to adjust. Her momentum carries her straight into the ground. I spin around and slam my palm into her back before she can recover. Then my hand is around her neck. Again. Third person today, I've grabbed by the throat. I'm starting to develop a signature move. Saga feels my grip, solid as iron, and immediately understands. If I squeeze, her neck snaps. Simple math. I surrender. The arena goes dead silent. Nobody expected this. The examiners planned the entire bracket to hand Saga the championship on a silver platter, and she just got beaten in approximately 4 seconds by a kid with no weapon and a C-rank talent. You can practically feel the frustration radiating from the judges. They rigged everything. Gave Saga easy matchups, rest rounds, drained all her rivals beforehand, and she still lost because she got cocky on a dive and I punished it. They're not mad at me. They're mad at her for wasting their carefully constructed plan. Up in the VIP section, though, the Saint Maiden leans forward. Interesting. The head examiner catches that reaction and mentally recalculates my value. One word from the Saint Maiden, and suddenly, I'm not worthless anymore. Politics. What she's apparently noticed is that I don't fight like these other kids. They're having sparring matches. I'm trying to kill people as efficiently as possible. Every move calculated, 0 hesitation, maximum damage. In a world where nobody our age has real combat experience, that mindset is basically a cheat code. She calls me a natural-born killer. I'd argue with that, but honestly, after 16 years of survival in that household and a wolf attack on the road, yeah, maybe she's right. 4 wins, 0 losses. 1 fight left, Stone Giant. Problem, I have no weapons. My last sword got obliterated by Saga's spear. I look at the scattered metal fragments on the ground and briefly consider my options. I glance at Winnie. She has those claw weapons, but they're custom-fitted to her tiny hands. My fingers wouldn't even fit. Plus, asking would be awkward. Forget it. Bare fists it is. Let's see if a month of daily stat points can punch through rock. Winnie's final match against Pharaoh goes exactly as the rigged bracket intended. She loses. For fights, for losses. She's sitting in the spectator area, looking like someone canceled her birthday. The werewolf from Group 5, who ranked 6th, stares at her results in disbelief. The girl who beat him went 0-4. It's honestly humiliating for both of them. Final match. Me versus Stone Giant. He's in rough shape. Torn clothes, unhealed wounds, exhausted eyes. Even after his rest round, he's clearly running on fumes. His stone armor, when he activates it, is visibly thinner and smaller than before. I see that and immediately know, this is mine. I don't activate Thunderbody. Don't need it. The fight turns into something almost beautiful. Instead of my usual grab throat and fight approach, I play it like a matador. High mobility, constant evasion, picking him apart piece by piece. He knows he needs to end this quickly before his magic runs out, but the arena is too big and I'm too fast. He can't catch me. He chases. I dodge. He swings. I weave. Every missed attack drains his magic further. His stone armor gets thinner with each passing minute. Cracks start appearing. All he can do is watch his power slowly bleed away, unable to land a single hit on the guy casually jogging circles around him. The moment his stone armor cracks and falls away, I activate Thunderbody. Purple lightning surges through me and I close the distance in a blink, practically teleporting to his face. 3 lightning-charged punches. His eyes roll back. He's out. 5 fights. 5 wins. 0 losses. No weapon for the last 2 fights. The final rankings. 1st place, me. 2nd, Saga. 3rd, Pharaoh. 4th, Stone Giant. 5th, Winnie. The head examiner looks like he swallowed a lemon. This was not how his carefully rigged bracket was supposed to play out. But results are results, and even he can't argue with a clean sweep. He lines us up and starts handing out rewards. Clan. For achieving 1st place, you are granted the title of Viscount. You receive all privileges of that rank, 500 Academy credits, 1 magic grade weapon, 10 mid-level magic stones, and a monthly allowance of 50 basic magic stones. My brain immediately locks onto magic grade weapon. The weapon tiers go common, refined, magic, hero, and presumably higher grades I don't know about yet. I've been fighting with common grade trash this entire time. An actual magic grade weapon is a massive upgrade. The magic stones are apparently like spirit stones in cultivation novels, fuel for training. Monthly income of 50? I can work with that. 2nd and 3rd place get Baron titles with slightly worse rewards. 4th and 5th also get Baron, but even lower tier. Winnie gets 5th despite going 0-4, which is technically last in our bracket, but she's still top 5 in the entire Academy entrance class. Not bad for someone who got systematically destroyed by a rigged schedule. Top 10 students will live in the main hall with the best resources. Everyone ranked lower gets assigned to branch halls. The lower your rank, the worse your hall. I look down at the Viscount badge in my hand. Weirdly, they use noble titles instead of church titles like bishop or priest. I'd have expected monks and deacons, not viscounts and barons. Something to figure out later. Now, regarding your weapons, what type would you like? A lightning attribute sword, sir. He nods without hesitation. Magic grade weapons are apparently pocket change for the church. They can produce as many as they want. Then I get led to my new room. I stand in the doorway and just stare. It's a suite. Over 100 square meters. Multiple rooms. White color scheme. Very church aesthetic. Clean, simple furniture. A proper bed. A real bed. In a room that's mine. No roommates. No sleeping on dirt. No cargo wagons. 16 years of suffering, and suddenly I have an apartment. I literally don't know what to do with myself. Before I can even process this, someone knocks. I open the door. A short girl with golden hair, pale skin, and an oval face stands there in white robes. She barely reaches my chin. Sir, my name is Milia. I've been assigned to take care of your daily needs. A personal attendant? Take care of my daily needs? Yes, sir. Every noble-ranked student gets a dedicated servant. I'm new to this, but I studied very hard. I promise I'll do a good job. She's earnest and eager, and I trust her about as far as I can throw this building. Which, given my strength stat, might actually be pretty far, but that's beside the point. I've spent 16 years being manipulated by people who smiled while they hurt me. A girl shows up the moment I get a title, assigned by the institution, with full access to my living space. That's not a servant. That's a spy. I label her surveillance in my mental filing cabinet and adjust accordingly. She will never see the real me. She gets polite, distant clan. Nothing more. Come in. She immediately starts making my bed while I awkwardly hover, having no idea how to behave when someone is being nice to me on purpose. This is genuinely more uncomfortable than fighting stone giants. I retreat to the living room and start training. An hour later, another knock. Milia answers it. My rewards have arrived. She brings everything over. The credits are already loaded into my Viscount badge. The magic stones are there. And somewhere in that pile is my new weapon. A real, magic-grade, lightning attribute sword. For me, 16 years of starvation, abuse, and sleeping on floors. And now I'm a Viscount with a suite, a servant, a monthly salary, and a magic sword. Not bad for a C-rank talent. I pick up the sword and my hands are actually trembling. Not from fear, from pure excitement. A real weapon. Finally, Flash Thunder Sword. Single-handed. Magic grade. Boosts lightning magic flow speed and increases thunder skill damage by about 20%. The description is short, but I don't care. After fighting an entire tournament with bargain bin scrap metal that shattered every other fight, this thing might as well be Excalibur. Next up, magic stones. The instructions are simple. Wear one while training, circulate your magic, and it automatically feeds you extra energy. I strap a mid-level stone around my neck and start practicing the thunder summoning art. The difference is insane. Normally, I can only manage 2.5 full cycles before my body starts breaking down. With this stone, I blast through 5 cycles and still feel like I could keep going. My training efficiency just doubled overnight. I check the stone afterward. It's slightly dimmer. So they're consumable. If I could get a steady supply of these things, my growth rate would be absolutely terrifying. I finish training and collapse into bed. Milia, my attendant / probably spy, sees me lie down and retreats to her little side room. I'm sure she's forming her first surveillance report right now. Subject went to bed at a reasonable hour. Preliminary assessment. Boring. Then midnight hits. Congratulations, host. Critical hit triggered. Bonus reward. Strength, agility, constitution, and spirit each one. My eyes fly open. Did I just get 4 points in one night? I check my panel. All 4 main stats went up by 1. That's not a daily point. That's a jackpot. A critical hit on the stat lottery. I didn't even know that was possible. I try to calm down. I fail. I spend the next 2 hours lying in bed vibrating with excitement before I finally pass out. Morning. Despite sleeping maybe 4 hours, I feel completely refreshed. Spirit stat doing its job. Sir, you're up already? Yeah. According to the instruction sheet, classes start today. Classes. The Royal Academy actually has a curriculum, but access depends on your rank. Nobles get the full menu. Knights get the basics. Commoners get scraps. Slaves get nothing. As a Viscount, I get 3 months of class hours per year, and I can choose from literally any subject: swordsmanship, military strategy, blacksmithing, you name it. And I can opt for private one-on-one tutoring instead of group lectures. The catch is that private sessions burn through class hours much faster. But first, I need to check my talent panel to figure out what I should actually study. Swordsmanship talent, 10. Expected, and already committed to this. Then I see it. Blacksmithing talent, 17. 17? That's my highest talent stat by a landslide. I had no idea I was a natural blacksmith. Second highest is alchemy at 4, and everything else is barely 1 or 2. Decision made. Main focus, swordsmanship. Secondary, blacksmithing. And I'll take basic alchemy too, not because I'm talented at it, but because knowing how to identify herbs in the wild could save my life someday. Even a 4 in potion talent is enough to learn the fundamentals. Oh, and I still need to find Quinn, the contact mister. Wisher arranged for me. Though honestly, my starting position might be higher than what Mr. Wisher imagined when he gave me that token. A Viscount title with a private suite wasn't exactly what either of us expected. I head to the swordsmanship tutoring office. The receptionist practically bows. Esteemed Viscount student, are you here for private sword instruction? Yes. Show me the instructor list. They hand me a magic book. The pages auto-update with each instructor's current status. I flip through and spot one immediately. Name, Kigangso. Level, 44. Specialty, Water Thunder Swordsmanship. Cost, half a day's class hours per session. Requirement, Baron rank or above. Status, available. Water Thunder. The water part is listed first, which means water might be his primary element. Not ideal for me since I'm pure thunder, but he does teach lightning sword techniques. I keep flipping. No rush. I want to find the perfect match. After a month of building this thunder foundation, I'm not about to waste my class hours on a teacher whose specialty only half overlaps with mine. I'm flipping through the instructor book when a name stops me cold. Name, Quinn. Level, 39. Specialty, Lightning Swordsmanship. Cost, quarter-day class hours per session. Requirement, Knight rank or above. Status, available. Quinn. The Quinn. The guy Mr. Wisha told me to find. And he just happens to be a sword instructor who specializes in lightning. My exact element? Mr. Wisha, you absolute legend. You didn't just give me a contact. You gave me a perfectly matched teacher who was sitting right here in the catalog the whole time. This one. The receptionist nods and sends for him. A few minutes later, Quinn walks in. I'm expecting a grizzled middle-aged veteran. Instead, it's a young guy, late 20s, maybe. At least a decade younger than Mr. Wisha. He spots my Viscount badge and looks confused. A top-ranked new student picking the budget instructor? That doesn't happen. We move to an empty classroom, and I get straight to it. Mr. Quinn. Do you know a Mr. Wisha? His eyebrows shoot up. Leighton Wisha? He sent you? I pull out the wooden token. The moment Quinn sees it, his whole demeanor softens. Whatever history these two have, it runs deep. If Wisha sent you, I'll take care of you. What technique are you practicing? The thunder summoning art. His eyes light up. That was apparently the perfect answer. In that case, I'll really take care of you. Wisha helped me a lot back in the day. I'll teach you the thunder summoning art and swordsmanship for free. Consider it repaying my debt to him. Free. Private. One-on-one. Lightning specialized tutoring. For nothing. I almost want to cry. Mr. Wisha spent a small bag of money to get me a better ship cabin, taught me an entire cultivation technique, arranged food upgrades, and set up a free private tutor at the academy. That man invested more in me during a 1-month escort mission than my own father did in 16 years. Let's use the paid hour first since you already spent the credits. After that, come to my place for regular sessions. Quinn draws his sword and faces me. Show me what you've got. The second he takes a stance, the pressure hits me like a wall. He's just standing there, but every fiber of my being is screaming, do not approach. He has 0 openings. He looks like an unsheathed blade. One step closer, and I'll be cut in half. So I don't move. I wait. Quinn nods slightly. Apparently most students panic under pressure from a stronger opponent and attack blindly, exposing their weaknesses. The fact that I recognized the trap and held my ground earns me some respect. Not that it helps. He comes to me instead. One casual, almost lazy thrust, and my sword goes flying out of my hands like it was spring-loaded. Can't even hold your sword, and you want to learn swordsmanship? Pick it up. Again, I grab the Flash Thunder sword off the floor. Round 2. Same result. Sword goes flying. Round 3. Flying. Round 4. Flying. Round 5. He's identified my problem. Incredible speed and strength for my age. But my fundamentals are garbage. Makes sense. I learned sword technique from a family that hated me, using an element I had 0 affinity for. My foundation is basically non-existent. Every time he disarms me, he throws in a verbal jab too. Physical and psychological pressure simultaneously. Most kids would be mentally broken by now. I won't lie, my brain feels like it's been put in a blender. But I keep going. Every single time I get disarmed, I'm analyzing why. What angle did he attack from? Where was my grip weak? What was my positioning error? Round 6. Flying. Round 7. Flying. Round 8, 9, 10. Flying, flying, flying. Round 11. Quinn flicks his blade at my weak point, expecting the same easy disarm. My sword stays in my hand. He blinks. Tries again. My grip holds. He hits a different angle. Still holding. It takes him 4 more attacks before he finally knocks it loose. His eyes go wide. He just watched me go from, can't survive 1 hit, to, survives 4 hits, in the span of 11 exchanges. That's not normal learning speed. That's not even abnormal learning speed. That's, what the hell am I witnessing speed. He looks at my eyes, still sharp, still focused. No frustration, no self-pity, no quitting. Same determination as round one. A long pause. Then, some improvement. Not enough? That's Quinn speak 4. I'm genuinely shocked, but I'll die before I admit it. I can tell. I pick up my sword. Again, that one rare compliment from Quinn, some improvement, tells me everything I need to know. I'm on the right track. Keep doing exactly what I'm doing. We continue sparring for the full hour, and apparently I shot Quinn multiple times. I went from, can't survive a single exchange, to consistently blocking 4 or 5 strikes within 60 minutes. His face keeps doing this thing where he tries to stay stoic, but his eyebrows betray him. I can feel him reevaluating me in real time. Not as a charity case for Mr. Wisha, but as an actual investment opportunity. And when a teacher starts thinking about return on investment regarding a student, that student is about to get very good training. All right, class time's up. Follow me. He takes me to his house. His house. The living room alone is bigger than my entire suite. Being a teacher apparently pays better than being a viscount. Starting today, you come here every day for at least 3 hours of sword training. You don't stop until I say you've graduated. Understood. Free daily private lessons from a lightning swordsmanship specialist. Am I understood? Sir, I would kiss your feet if you asked. Rest for 30 minutes first. Then we train. Fair. My arms are twitching uncontrollably from the earlier sparring. An hour of getting repeatedly disarmed by a level 39 swordsman will do that to your muscles. After the break, Quinn gets serious. He already knows my strengths and weaknesses from the testing, so he skips straight to the real curriculum. Fundamentals. Every day, you swing the sword 5,000 times. I'll have someone watching. If your form breaks, that rep doesn't count. 5,000. Per day. He hands me a practice sword, unsharpened, heavier than a normal blade. Then he calls over his attendant, a woman named Patty who's maybe 5 or 6 years older than me, wearing a maid outfit. Patty, count his swings. 5,000. Not one less. Yes, master. Quinn demonstrates the proper form a few times, confirms I understand the mechanics, and leaves. I start swinging. 500 reps in, I'm drenched in sweat. Fine. Expected. 1,000. Burning. 2,000. My arms feel like they're filled with wet cement. 3,000. The floor beneath me is literally a puddle of my own sweat. It looks like someone dumped a bucket of water where I'm standing. At some point past 3,000, my conscious mind checks out. I'm swinging on pure autopilot, my body moving from muscle memory while my brain floats somewhere above, disconnected from the screaming pain in my arms, shoulders, and back. Quinn walks back in, takes one look at me, and sighs. That's enough for today. He grabs the sword out of my hand. The moment the weight disappears from my grip, my body decides it's done. I fall backward like a cut tree. Quinn catches me before I hit the floor, then carries me to a bathroom. There's a bathtub filled with green liquid that smells like herbs. You lucky brat, he mutters, strips off my sweat-soaked clothes, and dumps me in. The instant that green liquid touches my skin, every aching muscle in my body goes, ah. It's like being hugged by warm medicine. My face, which was apparently frozen in a grimace of pain, relaxes completely. I might actually be smiling. I'm not sure. I'm too busy experiencing bliss. Half an hour later, I wake up in the green soup. The herb smell is strong but pleasant. This is obviously a medicinal bath, expensive stuff that Quinn prepared specifically for post-training recovery. The debt I owe this man is getting deeper by the hour. Since it's already been used on me, wasting it would be insulting. So I soak for another full hour until every drop of medicine has been absorbed into my body. Quinn walks back in right on cue. Clean water's over there. Wash up and come out. I rinse off, change into some old clothes of his, way too big, but functional, and step out. Then he points at a bed. Get on. Face down. I freeze. Excuse me? Quinn. Sir, I need to confirm something about your preferences before I stop staring and just do it. He looks annoyed, not anything else. So I cautiously lie face down on the bed, every survival instinct on high alert. Patty walks over. Her hands press into my back. Oh, a massage. It's a massage. It is not a gentle massage. It's the kind of massage where someone finds every single knot in your body and attacks it with the fury of 1,000 angry grandmothers. I'm screaming like a pig being slaughtered. Lighter. Please. Lighter. Patty ignores me completely and keeps going. If you want your body functional tomorrow, Quinn calls from the other room. This is mandatory. So this is my new daily life. 3 hours of sparring, 5,000 sword swings, a medicinal bath, and a massage so painful it counts as a second workout. I came to the Royal Academy expecting hell. I just didn't expect the hell to come with spa treatments. The massage lasts 30 minutes. 30 minutes of Patty finding muscles I didn't know I had and making them wish they didn't exist. By the end, I'm fairly certain I've experienced more pain from this recovery treatment than from the actual training. That's all for today. Come back tomorrow. Okay. I limp out of Quinn's house like a wounded animal. Every step sends a jolt through my body. I had plans to study blacksmithing today, but my body has officially filed a formal complaint and shut down all non-essential operations. The only thing I have energy for is sitting in a classroom. After half an hour of rest, I drag myself to a potion-making lecture. I picked the cheapest, most basic group class available. I'm starting from absolute zero in alchemy, so wasting expensive tutoring hours on this is what a plant looks like would be criminal. I'll learn the fundamentals in a crowd and save the premium instruction for swordsmanship. The classroom is packed. Apparently everyone wants to be an alchemist despite the fact that it requires insane talent, decades of effort, and mountains of money. The teacher doesn't even glance at my Viscount badge. In alchemy class, your rank means nothing. Only your potion talent matters. And mine is a humble 4. The lesson covers basic principles and common herbs. I write everything down in a little notebook. Not glamorous, but exactly what I need. After class, I discover the library. Viscount privileges grant free access to the first floor, second floor, and above cost credits. I haven't sat down and just read since arriving in this world. With my spirit at 20, my brain is running like a supercomputer. I absorb information effortlessly, connecting concepts, memorizing details. It's intoxicating. I lose myself completely in the books. Congratulations, host. Today you received Constitution 1. The midnight chime snaps me out of my reading trance. I've been in the library for hours without noticing. I reluctantly head back to sleep. Morning. My body still aches despite the bath and massage. Yesterday's training volume was just too extreme. But I check my stats and freeze. Strength, 21. Agility, 17. Constitution, 22. Spirit, 20. Level, 5. That's a lot more growth than just the daily point. The training, the medicinal bath, and the massage are all contributing to organic stat growth on top of my daily allocation. My body is leveling up from multiple sources simultaneously. Milia brings breakfast, 2 bread rolls, a bowl of meat soup, a steak, and fruit. As a Viscount, I get a monthly food supply, but the cooking is apparently my problem. Having Milia handle it is honestly the biggest perk of having an attendant. Well, the biggest legitimate perk. She's still classified as surveillance in my mental file. I head to Quinn's place, but he's not there. Patty tells me he's on a mission and won't be back for a week. A mission? Right. The academy isn't a charity. Every student above slave rank has a newbie protection period. No obligations, do whatever you want. But once that expires, you get mandatory monthly tasks. Complete them for credits. Fail them, and you lose 100 credits per month. When your credits hit 0, your rank drops. All the way down to slave if it keeps going. And slaves here aren't people. They're resources. Property. Anyone can use and abuse them. The only way out is if your master has enough conscience to share credit. Which, in a place built on exploitation, is about as common as snow in summer. So this protection period is precious. Every single day needs to count. 1 week without Quinn flies by. 7 daily stat points. 3 strength, 2 agility, 1 constitution, 1 spirit. But the training gains are even bigger. An additional 2 strength, 3 agility, 3 constitution, and 1 spirit from pure physical conditioning, plus the medicinal baths. My growth is coming from 3 sources now: daily system points, physical training, and alchemy-enhanced recovery. The combination is ridiculous. By day 2, I'd already adapted to the 5,000 swing routine. With the medicinal bath preventing burnout, I start adding extra practice on top. Just basics. Nothing fancy. But each repetition is cleaner, smoother, more natural than the last. My swings from a week ago versus now are visibly different, even though the movements haven't changed. It's like watching a rough sketch slowly become a painting. My body has filled out more too. Charm, 73. Lifespan, 78 years. Potion studies are progressing slowly, but that's by design. I'm only here to learn herb identification, not become an alchemist. My 4-point talent makes that abundantly clear. No point wasting money on practical experiments when I'm just building a knowledge base. The real progress is in the sword. Every single day, I can feel the gap between me and a real swordsman getting smaller. Not closed, not even close, but smaller. And with my stat growth accelerating from every direction at once, give me a few more months. Then we'll see who's just a C-rank talent. Quinn comes back from his mission and walks in on me mid-practice. He stops dead in his tracks. I can see his brain short-circuiting. Whatever progress he expected after 1 week, this wasn't it. Apparently, it took him over a year to reach the level I'm at now. I've been formally training for 7 days. 7 days without his guidance. Just Patty counting reps and me swinging until I pass out. You're back, Mr. Quinn, yeah? Aren't you tired? Not really. I've still got extra practice after this. His face does this wonderful thing where confusion and disbelief fight for control. In his plan, I should be completely spent after 5,000 swings. Instead, I'm standing here, casually mentioning overtime. He has no idea about my daily stat points. Every day, my constitution and strength tick up, which means every day the same workout gets a tiny bit easier. Compound that over a week with medicinal baths on top, the math gets silly fast. It's all thanks to your medicinal baths, Mr. Quinn. I couldn't have improved this much without them. He shakes his head. No, this is your talent. I underestimated you, clan. You're even better than I thought. Patty, standing off to the side, looks like she's witnessing a unicorn. Apparently, Quinn complimenting someone is rarer than an S-rank talent. Want to test your current level? Spar with me. I just burned through 5,000 swings, but honestly, even exhausted, I'm significantly stronger than I was a week ago. I draw the Flash Thunder Sword. Same situation as before. Quinn stands there like an unsheathed blade, no openings anywhere. I can't find a single crack in his defense. He strikes first. I block. He strikes again. I block. 10 exchanges pass, and I'm still standing. Barely. It's messy and I'm scrambling, but I'm standing. Last week I couldn't survive 1 hit. I make it to 16 before my sword finally goes flying. And that's with depleted stamina. Fresh, I'd have lasted longer. Quinn's satisfaction is practically radiating off him. We go for the full hour, sparring over and over, and I keep improving in real time, just like last week. Fewer openings each round, better reactions, tighter defense. I pass out again at the hour mark. Quinn catches me, carries me to the bath, dumps me in the green soup. Standard Tuesday at this point. After recovering, I head to potion class. And there's Saga, sitting in the front row, looking noticeably healthier than a week ago. Skin less dull, more color in her cheeks. A week of proper food and care is doing wonders for her. Her face lights up when she sees me. Clan, it's been so long. How have you been? Busy. You. That opens the floodgates. She tells me about everything that happened this week. The food, having someone take care of her, the classes she's taking. She talks nonstop until the teacher walks in. She shuts up instantly. Apparently, she learned the hard way what happens when you interrupt these instructors. Smart girl. Then the lecture begins and Saga's eyes glaze over within 5 minutes. She's never had any formal education. Reading, writing, basic science, she has none of it. Potions class might as well be advanced quantum physics for her. She's not alone. The werewolf, the other combat types, none of them can handle academic content. They all skipped anything culture-related because they literally cannot process it without a baseline education. Saga starts sneaking glances at me. She watches me take notes, actually engage with the material, and clearly cannot comprehend how I find this interesting. The only thing keeping her in this classroom is the fact that I'm in this classroom. Honestly, though, this teacher is awful. He just drones on in the most monotone, lifeless delivery possible, repeats old material, and has zero teaching ability. Half the class is asleep. Even with my high spirit stat, sitting through this is genuine suffering. I'm seriously considering dropping this class and just self-studying in the library. My potion talent is only 4, I'm not trying to become an alchemist. I just need to recognize herbs in the wild. A few books would probably teach me faster than this guy. I'll give it a couple more sessions. If he keeps recycling the same content, I'm out. After class, I need to have a talk with Saga about actually paying attention instead of staring at me for an hour. But that can wait. Right now, I've got a sword to swing 5,000 more times. And a bath full of green medicine waiting to put me back together afterward. This is my life now. And honestly, compared to the first 16 years, this is paradise. Want to come to the library with me? Saga's feet literally stop moving. The word, library, hits her like a physical force field. Actually, I just remembered I have something to do. Bye. She vanishes faster than she fled from Batgirl. Incredible. The girl who can fly at the speed of light is somehow even faster when running away from books. I spend the rest of the day in the library. No regrets. Another week passes. Combine gains from daily points and training. 3 strength, 3 agility, 2 constitution, 2 spirit. Growth is slowing down compared to those early explosive weeks, but that's natural. I've hit level 7, and I've figured out that levels are tied to total magic power, not stats. More mana equals higher level. Quinn has noticed the change too. When he suppresses his own stats to match what he thinks is a fair training level, I can now fight him to a draw. Actually, my raw numbers are slightly higher than his suppressed state, which is why I can keep up. His technique is still leagues above mine, but technique can't fully compensate when your opponent just has more of everything. He's starting to worry though, not about my progress, but about resources. I learn too fast. I grow too fast. The amount of supplies I burn through keeps increasing daily. A talent like mine should get top-tier institutional support, but C rank. On paper, I'm not worth the investment. Quinn knows this, and it frustrates him. It frustrates me too. I've already used 2 of my 10 mid-level magic stones, and I can feel my consumption rate accelerating. 8 stones won't last. My monthly allowance of 50 basic stones starts next month, but 100 basic stones only equals 1 mid-level stone, and the efficiency isn't even comparable. I'm going to need income soon. Students can take on missions voluntarily even during the protection period, and completed missions can offset future mandatory requirements. For my Viscount rank, only D-grade missions or above count as a full offset. E-grade missions take 10 completions to count as 1. So quality over quantity. But that's a problem for later. I still have 500 credits unspent, and there's something I've been putting off that I can't ignore anymore. Blacksmithing. My forging talent is 17, the highest talent on my entire panel by a massive margin. And every fight in the entrance exam reminded me why this matters. I went through 3 weapons in one tournament. If I can forge my own equipment, I never have to worry about that again. After morning training with Quinn, I skip potion class and head to the forging department. I spend some class hours on a private instructor, a mid-level blacksmith named Gangralso. Blacksmith rankings go: beginner, intermediate, advanced, forge master, grand forge master, forge grandmaster, divine smith. 7 tiers. Mid-level isn't high, but for teaching a complete beginner, it's more than enough. Well, complete beginner, with a caveat. I've been reading forging textbooks in the library for weeks. I'm basically a walking encyclopedia of blacksmithing theory with 0 practical experience. Gangralso leads me to his workshop. Why do you want to learn forging? It's a dead-end side profession. Can't compare to alchemy or enchanting. I'm interested. That's enough reason. He shakes his head, clearly thinking I'm some noble kid who'll quit after 1 session when he realizes forging involves actual physical labor. But money is money, and apparently forging students are rare enough that he can't afford to be picky. Have you ever actually forged anything before? No. Just read about it. He raises an eyebrow. A student who studied theory first but never touched a hammer? That's a new one. All right. Start by removing the impurities from this block of scrap iron. Show me what you can do. He hands me a chunk of raw iron ore and points at the forge. I recall everything from the books. Heat the ore until it's glowing red. Remove it. Begin hammering. I pull the red-hot metal from the forge and start striking. Despite burning through most of my stamina at Quinn's this morning, my strength is over 20 now. The forging hammer feels light in my hands, almost too light. The ringing of metal fills the workshop as I pound away at the ore. Let's see if 17 points of forging talent actually means anything. Gangralso watches me hammer for about 30 seconds before stopping me. What are you doing? This isn't a strength contest. You're just smashing randomly. You'd ruin a perfect ingot with this approach. You need to observe the ore structure. Feel its condition with each strike. Work with the metal, not against it. Fair criticism. I was basically treating the iron like it personally insulted me. He demonstrates properly. Now Gangralso is. Let's say he's got a generous build. Watching a chubby blacksmith swing a hammer isn't exactly elegant. But the sound his hammer makes when it contacts the ore? Beautiful. Like a musical instrument. Every hit rings clean and clear, completely different from my graceless pounding. I watch his movements carefully. The exact points of impact, the precise amount of force, the rhythm. Something clicks in my brain. I can't fully describe it, but it's like looking at a puzzle and suddenly seeing where all the pieces go. Did you catch that? I nod. Try again. He turns away, clearly expecting me to struggle for the next hour. Then, ting, a clear, crisp, musical note rings out from my hammer strike. Gangralso whips around and stares at me like I just performed a miracle. Ting, second strike. Same perfect sound. His mouth opens, closes, opens again. How? You just washed once, and he can't even finish the sentence. I keep hammering, and most of my strikes land correctly. Clean contact points, proper force distribution, consistent rhythm. For a first-timer, this is apparently supposed to be impossible. I'm honestly as surprised as he is. It just feels right. Like my hands already know what to do. Every strike sends feedback through the hammer and into my palms, telling me exactly where the next one should land. The impurities in the metal are practically announcing their locations. Maybe I really was born to be a blacksmith. 5 minutes of hammering, and I've cleared most of the surface impurities. Gangralso stops me, his voice noticeably softer than before. Good. Surface impurities are mostly gone. Now I'll show you the deep purification process. He demonstrates the folding technique. Heat the metal in the forge, pull it out, hammer, fold, repeat. Multiple cycles until every last impurity is expelled. Then he casually mentions that forge temperature control requires extensive experience. On my next attempt, I put the ore in the forge and pull it out at exactly the right moment. The same glowing red-orange I saw him use. Gangralso stares. You said you've never done this before? I can see him mentally questioning everything he knows about teaching. 2 hours of folding, heating, and hammering later, I produce a completely purified iron block. 0 impurities remaining. From scratch. On my first day, Gangralso goes quiet for a long time. He teaches me shaping and quenching next. Same thing, 1 demonstration, and I've basically got it. 4 hours total, and I've forged an actual iron sword. It's rough and crude, but it's a sword that I made. On day 1, Gangralso looks like a man experiencing a religious awakening. Teaching me, he says later, is a joy. Every step only needs to be shown once. Compared to his usual students who need weeks of repetition, I'm apparently some kind of forging savant. He's also quietly reaching a conclusion he doesn't want to accept. I might have already outgrown him. A mid-level blacksmith teaching a student with a forging talent of 17 is like a middle school teacher trying to mentor Einstein. He can cover the basics, but after that, Clan, you said you're interested in forging. Will you keep at it? Of course. Why wouldn't I? He exhales with visible relief. Then please remember what you said today. Never forget that promise. The sudden seriousness catches me off guard. This man genuinely loves his craft and just found someone who might actually carry it forward. I respect that. Let's continue to the next step. Sorry, Mr. Gangralso. I need to leave. I can only dedicate 4 evening hours to forging. I'll be back tomorrow. He opens his mouth to protest, then closes it. I can see the question he wants to ask. Will you still come to me tomorrow? But he doesn't have the courage. He knows his own limitations. A mid-level blacksmith teaching someone with my talent is temporary at best. He's right, honestly. I plan to learn everything basic from him tomorrow, then find a more advanced instructor. It's not disrespect, it's efficiency. Every hour counts. As I'm walking back to my room, congratulations, host. Today you received Charm 1. I stop walking. Charm. The universe looked at my situation, surrounded by enemies, training to survive, racing against time, and decided what I really needed was to be slightly more handsome. My charm hit 74. Thanks, I guess. I'm sure looking marginally better will be very helpful when a monster is trying to eat my face. Although, actually, considering Saga and Winnie's reactions lately, Maybe charm isn't completely useless, but I'd still rather have another point of constitution. Next morning at breakfast, Milia keeps staring at me. She can't figure out what's different, but she knows something changed. It's the charm point. One invisible stat increase, and suddenly my attendant/spy can't stop sneaking glances. Imagine what happens when it hits 80. I spend my second day with Gangralso asking every question I can think of. How to salvage a cracked billet. Best quenching methods. Temperature control tricks. Timing for different or types. Everything he knows, I'm extracting and writing in my notebook. He can feel what's happening. He answers every question thoroughly and patiently, but there's a sadness behind his eyes. He knows this is the last time. And he's right. After that session, I've learned everything he can teach me. I move on to an advanced blacksmith the next day. Congratulations, host. Today you received Strength 1. The advanced blacksmith is just as shocked by my learning speed. Unlike Gangralso, though, his reaction isn't awe, it's jealousy. I sense it immediately. 1 hour in, I switch teachers. No amount of begging changes my mind. The beauty of this system is that I can swap instructors anytime. If your teacher resents you for being better than them, just click Next. Very convenient. This cycle repeats for 2 solid weeks. Train with Quinn in the morning, attend whatever classes or library sessions I need, forge in the evening. Every blacksmith I work with has roughly the same reaction, shock, then either admiration or jealousy. I stay with the admiring ones slightly longer. 2-week stat gains, Strength 9, Agility 6, Constitution 5, Spirit 3. That's over 15 points, but it includes both daily system allocation and training bonuses. Spirit has fallen behind everything else. It was my highest stat when I started, and now it's my lowest. Funny how that works. Then today happens. I'm deep in cultivation when I feel it. The thunder summoning art pushing against its ceiling again. That familiar pressure building, the lightning inside me searching for somewhere to go. Quinn is standing nearby, watching. 2 hours of intense channeling. My body is a lightning rod, purple arcs dancing across every inch of skin. Then, my eyes snap open. A flash of lightning flickers in my pupils. Level 3. The breakthrough hits like a tidal wave. Electricity surges through every cell, activating something deep in my genetic code. Every stat jumps. My whole body reconfigures itself. Updated status, Strength, 46. Agility, 39. Constitution, 41. Spirit, 34. Level, 11. Charm, 77. Lifespan, 86 years. 46 strength. 1 month ago I started at 5. My stats haven't just doubled, they've nearly tenfold. And at level 3, the Thunder Summoning Art now lets me maintain Thunder Body as a permanent state instead of a short burst. Plus I've unlocked a new move. I can concentrate all my magic power into one massive lightning strike. A finisher. At my current level, it'd be devastating. Quinn walks over with this look on his face, half proud, half melancholic. How do you feel, clan, Mr. Quinn? I'm really hungry. Food's ready. Eat first. Then we test your combat level. Patty rushes out with an enormous platter of roasted meat and a jug of milk. I demolish most of it in minutes. Quinn and Patty watch me eat and somehow get hungry too. Breakthrough hunger is apparently contagious. After a short rest, Quinn pulls me into the training room. He's been gradually increasing his suppressed stat level during our sparring sessions over the past weeks. We've been staying relatively close in power. Use the Flash Thunder Sword this time. He's serious. The practice sword can't handle my output anymore. I need the real thing. I draw the Flash Thunder Sword and attack first. My blade becomes a storm. Thrust after thrust, each one leaving afterimages. The room fills with the sound of ringing steel. Quinn is genuinely shocked at my speed. He can still read my attacks, but barely. He blocks, parries, deflects, but he can't find a window to counterattack. At his current suppressed level, he literally cannot beat me anymore. The realization hits him mid-fight. I can see it in his eyes, this sudden awareness that the student is about to surpass the teacher. He knew this day would come. He just didn't expect it this soon. For one moment, his focus wavers. Just a heartbeat of distraction. My sword slips through his guard. Quinn explodes with his real power, no suppression, and blasts me back. But here's the thing. I block it. Completely. Not a scratch. He stares at me, speechless. Clan, you're really something. I couldn't have gotten this far without you, Mr. Quinn. He shakes his head slowly. At this rate, in 3 months, you might catch up to me entirely. You're joking, Mr. Quinn. No way that happens. But he's not joking. I can see it in his eyes. He's doing the math, and the math is terrifying him. He watches me leave and reaches out like he wants to say something, then drops his hand. I think he's realizing our teacher-student relationship has an expiration date. A short one. After lunch and a quick nap, I head out for my afternoon forging session. But I don't make it to the workshop. Because SHE appears. A girl about my age, walking toward me with the confidence of someone who owns the planet. And when I see her chest badge, I understand why. Marquis. The highest rank I've seen on any student. It's the Saint Maiden from the examination. The one who watched our fights from the VIP section and dismissed me as just a C rank. She got Marquis status without taking a single exam. Just walked in and received it. Meanwhile, I nearly died 5 times to earn Viscount. Life is fair, said no one ever. She spots me and squints, clearly trying to remember where she's seen my face before. You? Come here, she says it the way you'd call a dog. Every instinct in my body screams, walk away, but my brain does the math. She's a Marquis. She could crush me politically, socially, and probably physically without breaking a sweat. I've endured 16 years of humiliation from people with far less power. What's one more? I walk over. She studies me for a moment, then snaps her fingers. Clan, right? Yes, esteemed Marquis. How can I help you? Nothing special. You interest me. Want to be my subordinate? Every red flag in existence is waving. She's clearly a spoiled princess with zero concept of how normal people work. Textbook, terrible person to work for. The smart move is to refuse. I look around. Nobody nearby who could intervene. No escape routes. Her 2 attendants are watching me like hawks. I sigh internally. Fine. Let's see what being a lackey pays. I'd be honored, Saint Maiden. Good boy. She reaches into somewhere and pulls out a pouch, tossing it to me. Your monthly payment. 10 mid-level magic stones. I take care of my people. I freeze. 10 mid-level magic stones. Per month. I was rationing my original 10 stones over months, and she just handed me a monthly supply that doubles my stash? Every negative thought I had about this woman evaporates instantaneously. What spoiled princess? What terrible person? This is a saint. An actual angel. My beloved and generous employer. Thank you, my lady. Don't call me my lady. Call me Saint Maiden, like everyone else. Yes, Saint Maiden, and you're on call. Whenever I need you, you come. Understood. Absolutely, Saint Maiden. Good. Now, I'm bored. Know anything fun to do? I draw a complete blank. I've spent the last month doing nothing but training, forging, and passing out in medicinal baths. My idea of fun is reading blacksmithing textbooks. She reads my blank expression and sighs. Figures. Follow me. She leads us to a massive circular building. The moment I see it, I recognize the architecture. It's a coliseum. A fighting arena. The church has a gladiator pit. We walk in, and a pretty receptionist immediately bows. Saint Maiden. Welcome. I'll arrange your seating immediately. Thanks. Oh, and get this one, an opponent. She points at me. Wait, an opponent? For me? Excuse me, Saint Maiden. This is my first time here. What are the rules? No rules. This is the beast arena. You fight a monster. Kill it or don't. Simple. She wants me to fight a monster. For her entertainment. I've been her subordinate for approximately 4 minutes. Saint Maiden, I've only been at the academy for 1 month. Isn't fighting magical beasts a bit early for? Her eyes narrow. The temperature drops about 10 degrees. Right. Nobody says no to the Saint Maiden. I forgot that rule during the brief window where she was giving me free magic stones. Okay, clan. You've got strength 46 and a lightning sword. How bad can one arena beast really be? Are you defying my orders? With respect, Saint Maiden, it's too dangerous. I'd rather not. Out of nowhere, a whip materializes in her hand, and she cracks it straight at my face. My reflexes kick in before my brain does. I catch the whip midair with my bare hand. The leather burns my palm like fire, but I don't let go. Everyone freezes, including her. She tries to yank it back. It doesn't move. She pulls harder. Nothing. My strength is 46. She might as well be trying to pull a sword out of a mountain. Will the Saint Maiden be swinging again? I say it calmly. Politely, even. But in this moment, the power dynamic between us has completely flipped. Here's the thing about the Saint Maiden, Saintess, whatever her name is. Turns out it's Xingxin. She has an S-rank talent, yes, but she's barely trained. Without activating her ability, she's just a spoiled girl with a whip and an attitude. Physically, she's nowhere near my level. She keeps pulling. I let go, because she was yanking with everything she had. The sudden release sends her stumbling backward, and she lands flat on her backside in front of everyone in the arena. Well, that's done it. I'm officially a dead man walking. Xingxin's face goes crimson with humiliation and rage. What are you all standing around for? Her 3 attendants snap out of their shock and surround me. 3 A-rank talent holders. Her personal bodyguard squad. Grab him. All 3 attack simultaneously. And look, under normal circumstances, A-rank talents are scary. But these are my classmates. Same generation. Same age group. And I've been stacking stat points every single day for over a month while training with a level 39 swordsman. I activate Thunder Body. Purple lightning crackles across my skin. 3 kicks. 3 stomachs. Almost simultaneous. All 3 go flying and hit the ground screaming, clutching their midsections. Minimum 2 broken ribs each. They're done for weeks. Xingxin's jaw drops. She was told I'm C-rank. C-rank. And I just dismantled 3 A-rank fighters in about 2 seconds. I walk up to her. We lock eyes. She swallows. What? What are you going to do? Nothing. The question is, what does the Saint Maiden want to do? I don't want to be your enemy. But if you insist on making my life difficult, I can be your enemy. Your choice. I mean every word. I've tolerated a lot in my life. 16 years of abuse taught me patience. But dragging me to a death arena without asking? That's not being a subordinate. That's being treated as disposable. And that crosses my line. Do you understand what you're saying to me? She screams. Perfectly. And if it comes down to it, I'll trade my life for yours right here. Your call. The arena manager rushes over, desperately trying to defuse things before his venue gets destroyed. Saint Maiden, what's happening? Get lost. This doesn't concern you. She could ask him to restrain me. He'd probably do it. But her pride won't allow that. She challenged me. I challenged back, and now she has to answer personally or lose face. So she activates her talent. Behind her, a massive angelic phantom materializes, radiant, beautiful, heartbreakingly pure, 2.5 meters tall, glowing with holy light. The crowd gasps. S-rank talent, soul of the angel. I look at this divine, majestic apparition summoned by the bratty girl who just fell on her butt, and I think, the angels of this world must be blind. How does this person get celestial favor? The arena manager throws up a barrier around us to protect the spectators. Smart. The crowd doesn't leave. They're too busy gawking at a real S-rank talent in action. The angel phantom is incomplete. Xingxin is too weak to summon the full thing. But even at partial power, the pressure is immense. Way beyond what her bodyguards could produce. This is a completely different class of threat. I told you you'd regret this, clan. Now taste what regret feels like. The angel charges, terrifyingly fast. I barely track its trajectory, block with the flash thunder sword, and get launched across the arena like a ragdoll. My arms are vibrating from the impact. 1 hit, and I'm already flying. Okay, so 10 mid-level magic stones per month was nice while it lasted. My back slams into a stone pillar. I slide down to the floor. Blood trickles from the corner of my mouth. So this is S-rank. I was wrong. Completely wrong. I thought that since I could handle A-rank talents, S-rank would be a bit stronger but manageable. No, S-rank is a completely different dimension. It's not a step above A-rank. It's an elevator to a different building. That angel phantom hit me once, and I'm already coughing blood. But then I look at Xingxin, and she's bent over, gasping for air like she just ran a marathon. Maintaining that angel phantom is draining her at an insane rate. She's a spoiled princess who probably never exercised a day in her life before awakening. Maximum firepower, minimum stamina. What an absolute waste of an S-rank talent. You have the most broken ability I've ever seen, and you spend your days watching gladiator fights instead of training? Disgraceful, but also very exploitable. She straightens up, trying to look intimidating while panting like a dog. See, that's my power. You, worthless. The intimidation factor of this speech is approximately 0. Then she sees me standing back up. Her face twists. Why are you still standing? Lady, I spent 10 years getting beaten by professionals. One angel slap isn't going to keep me down. She screams and sends the angel charging at me again. It's gorgeous. Everyone in the arena is mesmerized, staring at the divine beauty of the phantom like they're watching a religious vision. Some of them look like they'd happily die just to be touched by it. Meanwhile, nobody's watching me, which is perfect. I gather most of my remaining magic power into the Flash Thunder Sword. Every last drop I can spare. The blade crackles with concentrated lightning, my strongest attack. The finisher I unlocked from the level 3 breakthrough. The angel reaches me. I swing. Thunder meets divine light. The collision produces a massive explosion. Blinding white light fills the entire arena. Everyone slams their eyes shut. When the light fades and people open their eyes again, the angel phantom is gone. And Xingxin is lying on the ground, blood pouring from her mouth, completely unconscious. I limp toward the exit. Every muscle screaming. Magic power nearly empty, but still moving. The arena manager looks like his soul just left his body. The Saint Maiden, got beaten half to death in his establishment. Grab that kid. Now! 2 enormous guards pin me to the ground before I can take another step. Fair enough. I barely have enough energy to breathe, let alone resist. They drag me in front of the manager. Even face down on the floor, held by 2 guards twice my size, I stare up at him without flinching. He looks at my defiant expression and his anger fades. I can see something like respect creeping into his eyes. He doesn't know my talent rank, but he knows I just beat the Saint Maiden. That earns something, even from an enemy. Lock him in my office. He doesn't abuse me or humiliate me further. Just files a report and sends it up the chain. Smart man. Let the higher-ups decide. The news travels fast. The Saint Maiden was beaten by a student at the Beast Arena. The report lands on the desk of the Pope. The actual student Pope of the Royal Academy. He's sitting with the cardinals, the top leadership of the Church's Academy faction. Their first reaction? Stunned silence. Then fury. Someone dared to touch the Saint Maiden? But then they hear the full story, that Xingxin tried to force an unwilling student into a death match, whipped him when he refused, and he only fought back in self-defense. The anger deflates into exasperation. They all know Xingxin. Great talent. Terrible personality. This isn't the first time she's caused problems. But the Pope focuses on something else entirely. Wait, you're telling me the boy actually won? Yes, Your Holiness. Bring me his file. My information lands on his desk. He reads through it and stops at one line. C-rank talent. Attribute point allocation. He stares at those words for a long time. A C-rank talent beat an S-rank Saint Maiden. The test results shouldn't be wrong, but how? Bring the boy to me. And how is Xingxin? Only minor injuries, Your Holiness. She'll recover quickly, minor injuries. Sure, she was unconscious and bleeding from the mouth, but in this world of superhuman bodies, that apparently qualifies as minor. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in an office, waiting to find out if I'm about to be promoted or executed. Honestly, could go either way at this point.